Toughest physically and mechanically. Southwick Motocross 338, and man, this place really puts you to the test physically. So hard, number one, to just achieve it, just to compete, much less race it and go 100% to the end. But a lot of different lines for the guys to move around on. It's really rough racetrack, but historically the toughest track for these guys.
Yeah, some iconic sections, like that's the famous Buckley berm that the photographers love when they sandblast their way around this track. Let's get a little more. We'll send it down to the racetrack with Will Christian.
Thank you, Jason and Ricky, the guys in the gate here, ready to go. As you mentioned earlier, that red plate last weekend exchanging hands now on the front of Hunter Lawrence's bike, 96 there for Honda HRC. There's a lot of talk about the weight of the plate. In other words, the pressure that comes with having that red plate on your bike. I asked Hunter about it. I said, are you feeling that at all? And he said, nope, not one little bit. He said, if anything, it's confidence. He said, this is what I've worked for. That's what all the years went into getting to this point. So honestly, no. He went 1-1 for the overall win here at Southwick last year, guys. He's healthier and fitter than ever. Can he do it again this year and hold off his brother? We're about to find out.
Oh, so fun. This type of battle between two teammates and brothers who have been 1-2 in most of the races this year. Here's the KTM keys to the Moto, Carmichael.
There you go. Physical preservation, bike preservation. As I told you, this is the toughest track physically. Got to do the best you can. Find that limit. Don't go into the red zone on heart rate. And then the bike, if you don't have any pressure from behind, you have nothing to gain, nothing to lose, make sure you get that bike to the finish line.
And that is especially true in this 250 class, where they are really bringing these bikes out for every ounce of power they can produce in this deep sand. Fly Racing 30-second card is up. And the reds come up as well. Here we go. Looks like Hunter Lawrence got boxed in off the start, and Jet Lawrence going to lead them in and out of turn one. Motosport.com, whole shot to your defending champ. Justin Cooper back to his traditional good starts. We have seen him buried the last couple of weeks. This time he is second.
That's right. If he can put himself back in that state of mind where he was out there winning, having good races, that's what he needs to do. Race forward, race the guy that you battled with for the championship right in front of you. Yes, he's coming off of an injury. However, still feels like it feels pretty good. The injury isn't as bad as it once was. So,
yeah, see what Cooper can do. He's got pressure, though, from his teammate, the rookie Nick Romano, who looked pretty quick in our final qualifying session today. He's a New York native, probably spent some time at this track. And RJ Hampshire is fourth. Where is Hunter Lawrence? 12th.
Yeah, Hunter Lawrence, I saw on the start, he got off to it. He got a bad jump out of the gate, so then he was behind from that point on. Like I said, that first corner is extremely narrow, and it just got narrowed up. The door was closed on him, and he's way behind.
Trying to find him here. There he is, battling it out with the 47 of Seth Hamaker, and there is Derek Kelly's able to make the move on him,
yeah,
and also around time after for.
Oh, going for it, 2 for 1 in the Buckley corner. That is really hard to do. Get by two guys, but he's riding aggressively. He knows he can't waste any time. His brother is out front. I'm sure he understands that.
Unbelievable, just blew by.
Yeah, I mean, he's going for it.
Got by Kitchen, now working on Volan. Unreal.
Well, he has no choice, Jason. He's got to get up front as quick as possible from a race standpoint. Try to give himself an opportunity to possibly challenge his brother. It's going to be tough to do being this far back this early on. Then you shift to points management mode. He at least has to do the best he can to come out of here with the second place.
And last week's winner, Shimoda, is in 6th, a few positions further forward than this. As Jet Lawrence leads the first lap here at Southwick, and his brother Hunter has to work after the bad start.
Well, you see your timing and scoring there. His brother is already 10 seconds out front, in front of him, rather. So he's got a lot of time to make up. And as the gap starts to stretch out, it's going to be harder and harder to get by these guys. Can't get so hard to get past two guys in one corner, like on the first lap, and everyone's still bunched up.
Yeah, he did do some quick work there. 3-4 passes we saw almost instantly, and he's got another pack in front of him. Volan And this is that battle. He's right at the tail end of this pack. This is Swole, Shimoda, Styles Robertson, 5th, 6th, 7th. Then it would be Volan. Then it would be Hunter Lawrence. And Hunter closing back in on Volan now.
Yeah, I love how this is shaping up right here. Hunter went to the inside. Volan was on the outside. Volan was able to get a better drive out of the corner.
Yeah, wasn't able to make the move there. Nate Thrasher sticking with Hunter Lawrence right behind him. Lawrence passed him a lap ago. They jump in and out of these sand pits. Jet Lawrence has already opened it up to 4.6 seconds on Cooper. He's fending off his teammate Romano.
Unlike the 450s that we just watched, these 250s much harder to get through the sand. The sand takes a toll on these motorcycles. There's so much resistance against the rolling of the motorcycles. These things asking a lot out of the performance and the engines. The engine temperatures get extremely hot because of that, because there's so much resistance in the roll speed.
All right, this battle continues. That is Shimoda versus Swole, 5th and 6th. Shimoda going to try to work the outside. Oh, almost went down.
Oh, he tried. Joe tried to get by there. But when he was coming out of that corner, he made a mistake. The bike slipped out.
Going to try again. He's watching the Beta Motorcycles drone cam. Another outside line attempt. Swole holds him back. So good job by Swole.
Yep.
Both times to keep the line in front where Shimoda wanted to go.
Good to see Jalek Swole up there running with these front guys. He's had a rough year. Started in Supercross, got hurt literally on the first lap. Just could never rebound. So to see Jalek up here on this Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory racing machine running with these front guys will certainly give him some confidence. You know, he's a lot better than what his results have shown.
No, he's had motos where he could not even get to the finish line with the ailing shoulder. And this is definitely going to put, you got an injury, it's going to hurt by the end of the day on this rough track.
Oh, yeah.
Shimoda having to go back to work, so 2 pass attempts, couldn't get around. Now has to wait all the way around to another section to mount another attack on Swole. Hampshire is up ahead in 4th, Romano 3rd, Justin Cooper 2nd, and Jet Lawrence leading, and the damage done. Hunter Lawrence made a few quick passes, got to 9th. He has not been able to advance past that yet. And they're starting to string out, as you were theorizing.
Yeah, well, what we were talking about, too, is when you don't have a huge speed gap on the rider in front of you or behind you, makes it incredibly hard to pass because the guy in front of you is taking the preferred line most of the time, so it makes it really hard to get by the rider in front of you.
Yeah, so Hunter's having to go fast enough to make the pass while in the bad line, and he cannot get around Volan. He's riding very well here. Volan was pretty quick, hovering around the top 5 in the practice sessions earlier today as well.
Just think about that. 2 laps have went by. Hunter's already 17 seconds behind the leader. I mean, Jet Lawrence is making up a lot of time on this pack right here. He's 6 seconds in front of the lead, or in front of 2nd place.
Shimoda giving another shot here on the 31 of Swole. This is Hampshire trying to get Romano for 3rd. Can't quite get it done.
Great job by Nick Romano.
Jet Lawrence has crashed, and Justin Cooper takes the lead. He had nearly a 7-second lead, and it's done.
And I was just going to say, Jason's like, man, this is the worst nightmare for these guys, for Jet to get out in the lead and put it on cruise control. Talked about physical preservation. He was going to get, he could have got out there and just cruised on to the finish line. Now that's not going to be the case, at least for another few laps, or at least half this moto.
He will have to work for it. Credit to him having a big enough lead that he only lost 1 spot with a tip over and is already back on the rear wheel of Cooper.
Yeah, no need. If you're Jet Lawrence right here, there's no need to push it. You have such a speed advantage right now. Think about the long game. The pass, you know, is going to present itself at some point, and when it does, take advantage of it at that point. No need to push the issue right here and force it in.
And then at Romano, Hampshire battle continues for 3rd as you watch the Fly Racing battle box. Can Jet find an opening on Cooper? Working it right here. Not enough. Switches from the inside. Side by side again. He's on the outside for this next corner. Going to have to grease it. Nah, too far wide. Cooper doing a good job, holding him at bay, and then Cooper a mistake, and Jet Lawrence retakes the lead.
Yeah, Cooper was right alongside the edge of the track. The reason he was there, it's a little bit smoother on that very edge of the track and just moved over too much, almost high-sided because of it. Jet gets by.
So it's going to appear as one lap that Jet did not lead because he crashed right before the finish, but it did not take him long to get the #1 spot back. It looks like Hampshire has done it. He's made the move, if I see this right, on Romano. And with that mistake by Cooper, can Hampshire make a run for second?
Oh, I like RJ Hampshire's chances here today at Southwick. This kid grew up in Florida, born and raised racing in the sand, so he is no stranger to these type racing conditions.
Yeah, he grew up not too far from the legendary Croom. I'm sure you spent plenty of time there growing up.
More times than I wanted to, I can tell you that much. Countless hours, burned lots of gas there.
Yeah, that's the sand pit in Florida. That's the hot spot a lot of riders go visit. But Hampshire, that's where he grew up. And he does have Justin Cooper in his sights at some of the longer straightaways on this track. So the Florida native will never cheat you for effort.
No.
Nobody rides as hard as RJ Hampshire.
Yeah, he's one tough customer, certainly, and goes for it. Loves to be out there racing. There's been times where he's had injuries. I'm like, oh, there's no way he's coming back next weekend. And there he is, lined up.
Yeah, had a big crash. Southwick had a hole put in his side under his armpit, and he wanted to come race the next weekend at Colorado. They wouldn't let him do that, but he was back for High Point. Only missed one race after spending several days in the hospital. That's how tough this guy is.
Oh, yeah, he is tough.
Okay, so we'll keep tabs on Hampshire, looking to close back in on Cooper. Jet Lawrence getting away. Hunter Lawrence finally made the move on Voland, but that is still only enough for 8th place. So tough situation there for Hunter, because he did not get the jump off the start. Okay, back to our drone cam with Shimoda and Swole. Shimoda finally has that 5th place position. Oh, and Hunter has gone down. It's gone from bad to worse.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's going to put him outside the top 10, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Pierce Brown goes by. That is 15th place.
Let's see here. Oh, he gets crossed up.
Came into the back.
Gets crossed up behind,
I think Robertson?
Yeah, Robertson. Oh, that's such a bad spot to fall, too, over a blind jump. Oh, you hate that. So he's in the points lead before the Moto. Now he's going to be well outside the points lead. Your Jet Lawrence, his brother, he's thinking, okay, yeah, finally I got some redemption, got some points back, but you hate to see your brother crash as well.
16th place for Hunter Lawrence. Only score 5 points if it finished like this. We obviously expect him to move far forward, but it gives you an idea of how much ground he has lost and how devastating this damage is. And there he had to shake the helmet.
He was shaking his he probably had dirt in his goggles, so he's shaking his goggles, get the dirt out.
Here's the motorsport.com whole shot replay.
Okay, here he is right here. He has a straight shot to the first turn, but he's going to get clobbered up right there. See how this start narrows up so much. You can see he's right here in the middle. There's nothing you can do there. If you get a bad jump out of that gate, guys from the outside and the inside funnel into one area, and you are done for.
And then, as you always say, RC, you get caught in other people's problems.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's certainly not preferred to get a bad start, but when you get caught in other people's problems, 9 out of 10 times it's a byproduct of a bad start.
Yeah, it gets into the back of Styles Robertson, who was in 7th and now finds himself in 16th. Here is Voland. in 8th. He is now challenging Robertson.
Well,
and then Swole in 6th.
Yeah, and Styles Robertson coming off a podium last week with a 3-5 finish, rode fantastic.
Yeah, and he needed that one to get his season back on track, and you can see a lot better follow-up than most of the motos he had this year. So that little podium gives him a little boost as we go back to Hampshire, trying to keep Cooper honest. Cooper has picked it back up, opened up to about 3 seconds on Hampshire.
Yeah.
So a much better run today. It's more the Justin Cooper we're used to, who was almost always on the podium. Send it down to Willett Moore on Justin Cooper.
You just said it, Jason. Yeah, more of the Justin Cooper that we have seen, obviously, in past seasons. When I spoke to the team there earlier on and said, you know, where's he at? What's the progress here? They said, honestly, after last weekend at Redbud, which was not a good result for him, they said he got mad. He got mad. That was him out of title contention as far as they were concerned. They said, but the upside of that is they felt like it also took the pressure off. Everybody was expecting him to come back from this injury. There was a lot of that going. There's his mechanic right there. And they said, honestly, now that's come off. Now he can start to perform. Now it's go time. So, Ricky, it's tough, isn't it, to get into the head of these riders. Justin Cooper's been through a lot, on the couch for a month, off his bike for 5 months. Maybe he just needed that pressure off a little bit to get back to himself.
Yeah, I think so. I think he wasn't riding well. To your point, Will, and what they told you, and had a chance to talk to his mechanic as well. And, yeah, feels a lot better this weekend. And, you know, just try to brush off what happened last weekend and move forward. There's nothing we can do about it. Said he's in a much better place this weekend, and certainly the results are speaking for themselves.
7-9 were the Moto scores last week for Justin Cooper, a rider who just lives on the podium. This is much more like it. Yeah, he had a nice run of 4 straight Moto podiums, so it started to look like it was the same old Justin Cooper. Maybe we got ahead of ourselves, forgetting how devastating that foot injury was.
Yeah, I mean, off the bike for 5 months. I mean, non-weight bearing for almost 2 months. That's a long time, and you get out of shape extremely quick because of that.
Halfway through this moto, so in 15 minutes we'll be finished, and in 15 minutes you could save 15% or more on your insurance by making a quick phone call to Geico. And Cooper has weathered the storm. It was a little charge there from RJ Hampshire, but this gap is stabilized at about 2 to 3 seconds. Hampshire's got to keep going, though. Joe Shimoda up to 4th and closing.
Yeah, I love it. Sushi Man coming up through the pack. He puts a little sushi emblem on his butt patch there. I love it. Sometimes after his Instagram posts, after the caption, he'll put a little sashimi there. Such a great kid, and I thought his story was cool last week. Didn't even know he had won the overall, but man, he is, I'd say the last 3 rounds, starting at Mount Morris, he rode spectacular last weekend, obviously getting his first outdoor win, rode great, and you can see now he's got some great speed moving up the pack here.
Yeah, starting to close, got around Romano, now going after Hampshire for the podium. And he is catching him quickly. Shimoda is flying here at Southwick, really putting it together, and now we have a battle. Their ETS Racing Fuels drone cam.
Such an epic view right here. Seeing the different lines, guys inside, guys outside. Now you can see where the dirt is kind of like brown, and then it's kind of light. Where it's brown, that's where most of the guys are going, and then where it's light, that's where the track is starting to dry up just a bit. So you see the preferred lines.
Well, Hampshire knows he's there now. Is that Cooper?
That is Cooper.
That is Cooper. So just as quickly as Cooper had opened it up to 3 seconds over Hampshire, Hampshire has caught him, and Shimoda is there. We have a 3-rider battle for second.
Well, and they're not far behind Jet Lawrence in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Joe Shimoda is man on a mission. He turned the fastest lap last time around.
Got off the side of the track. He was on the wrong side of that lap rider. He ends up off the side, and Shimoda makes the move.
Well, I was looking over at timing and scoring. Joe Shimoda was the fastest guy in traffic last lap at a 2:16. The next best was a 2:17 of Hampshire. Jet Lawrence is a 2:18. This is going to be interesting right here. Still a lot of racing left. We got 12 minutes plus 2 laps.
Yeah, can Shimoda continue this run?
Do not turn your channel, I can tell you that much.
He is moving on this Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. There's Cooper on the right side. There's a lap rider in between them. Shimoda gets by him and goes back to work. Now it would be second place.
This straightaway is so rough. I can remember racing there, Jason. It's like when you wanted to rest, you're like, okay, I'm coming to a straightaway, and it was just so rested. You still had to stand up, let the bike work underneath you. Is extremely difficult.
You had a funny way of showing that you were tired in these motos. I was going to say, we couldn't detect that.
Perception is key, man.
Okay.
Right? Never show weakness.
I like it.
Even though I was in the pain cave, certainly.
All right, Southwick will bring it out at even the best of them, and that's got to be where Cooper and Shimoda are right now. 20 minutes into this moto, and they are sending it. Fighting for position is Cooper. Now Lawrence must have got the memo. He has dipped back out. He's opened it to 5 seconds, but Shimoda is all over Cooper. Oh, and they almost come together. Almost bounced off of each other there. Can Shimoda beat him to the corner? He does. He's in second.
Oh, this is going to be good. Yes, Lawrence, he pulled out his lead, but still Joe was a 216 that last moto, and Jet was only a 217.
Wow, so Joe, if he can continue this run, and you think he should because he has clear racetrack, can he put a little pressure on Jet Lawrence, who has had a moto? Would have had a huge lead, but a tip over. Now you can see the gaps.
These lappers, they need to give way to the leaders coming up.
And I think they have. So Shimoda carrying the momentum of that win last week at Redbud. I mean, through traffic up to second. Hunter Lawrence still just 14th.
It's the roughest, gnarliest, toughest, most physically demanding discipline in all of motorsports. I'm Ricky Carmichael, 10-time outdoor pro motocross champion. Join us as we unleash the beast in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship presented by Monster Energy.
Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
We're back here at Southwick. Jet Lawrence maintaining the lead. It's almost 6 seconds at one point. It's 4.5. Joe Shimoda has found his flow halfway through this moto. Started passing riders quickly. Now he's in second. Can he get to the point where he can put some pressure on Jet Lawrence?
Well, he's got 7 minutes plus 2 laps to go. 7.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. You just have to wonder. Oh, there he is coming from behind. There he is. He's in our screen.
Got it down to 3.9. Another half second lopped off. Meanwhile, troubles for your points leader, Hunter Lawrence, had the bad start, the crash, and another clip here. Trying to get Pierce Brown.
Yeah. Oh. almost goes down, saves it. Look at him, rips his tear off. He's probably so angry right now after that bad start.
The visor off, so he's eating even more roost than usual. Shimoda takes it from 3.9 to 3.6.
So long as these lappers don't get in Joe's way, it's going to be interesting. Oh, it looks like Jet maybe has turned it up. There's a couple areas where I was watching Jet. Looked like he was laboring a little bit in the corners, just not really pushing the issue and not being aggressive. I can tell you right now, this man right here is going for it.
Well, there is a lot on the line if Shimoda could catch.
Yeah.
Jet Lawrence for the lead. He took it down to 3.4 from 3.6.
And this will be a big points day for Joe Shimoda as well, catching up to Hunter. So Hunter needs to minimize the damage here, not give up, push to the end, so long as he's not hurt from that high side.
Yeah, Joe can get it down within a Moto, which is 25 points, a little over 30 back from your series leader, Hunter Lawrence. There is the gap right now. Oh, and that exchange to the advantage of Lawrence, it was 3.6. Now it's 4.3.
Yeah, it looks like Jet has put the afterburners on. Maybe he sensed the pressure or the speed of Joe coming over, probably looked over, or perhaps got a signal from his mechanic saying, hey, Joe is on the move. You better get after it.
Well, how much, even without that, how much can you gain and lose in just one section with a line choice?
Oh, yeah, you can lose at least a second. At least a second, especially in the sand. This thing gobbles you up pretty quick.
And so did the lap traffic. That really slowed up Jet.
Oh, this is going to mess Jet up for sure. Look at, then
still cannot get by. Let's send it down to Will with the team owner for Joe Shimoda, Mitch Payton.
That's right, Mitch with me now, Jason. Mitch, we're seeing incredible things here yet again from Joe Shimoda there. If you could speak to him, if you could be in his ear right now, what would your advice be?
No advice. But he's riding really good. He just needs to keep his pace up like he's doing, and he should be all right.
What do you think the biggest difference has been for Joe here? His confidence seems to be climbing week by week.
I think he's doing a lot of work. Him and Nick Way have been working a lot on training, so I think that's helping a ton.
Thanks so much, Mitch.
And the legendary team owner, they're giving credit to the new trainer for Shimoda. Started working together just a couple of weeks ago, and it has definitely turned things and the confidence, as she mentioned, after the win, and he is going after Jet Lawrence.
I love it. Got by those lappers relatively easy. Didn't hold him up. They certainly didn't hold up Joe as much as they holded up Jet. So that was an advantage to Joe.
2.2 seconds in what was a 6-second gap.
When you're in this position, Jason, look at, there you go, this perfect view by the drone. When you get to this position, you see you're catching your competitor, and there is blood in the water. It's much easier to reel in this time gap than it was, say, 4 seconds back when you're on the same straightaway.
Hampshire has made the move on Cooper. He's in third. Cooper back to fourth. Folan has gotten through that battle that he was in. He's in fifth. Robertson sixth. Moseman, who I had about 18th early in this moto, is up to seventh. Romano eighth. Swole ninth. Hamaker 10th. Hunter Lawrence, your series points leader, has had all sorts of adversity. He is in 11th place. So if it ends like this, points lead will go back to Jet Lawrence here between these two motos. As we keep tabs on Shimoda.
Man, it's like I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like they're rubber band right now. Yes, Jet did get held up by those lappers.
And the section they just went through, that's where Jet stretched it the previous lap.
Yeah.
Joe closed it in here. We'll find out how much is just Joe is faster in this section, or a lap ago was it just Jet being held up by the lap traffic. We'll know soon.
Yeah. We're about to find out. Looks like Jet has pulled away, and this is where Jet is, you know, he's so good, is he only pushes it to, whoa, he's going for it. You see he's got head shake, his front end was going back and forth. There's another look.
But didn't even lose ground.
No, he didn't lose ground, but I just wonder if Jet was hanging back on purpose, you know, no need to push it. Seems like that's what he's doing. He's only attacking or accelerating when he needs to.
Perhaps it's management mode for your defending champion, Jet Lawrence, the Australian, the 18-year-old, and the 20-year-old out of Japan, Joe Shimoda, keeping him honest. 3 seconds is the gap. And Cooper has slipped back around Hampshire, so they are having a real battle. A couple of times back and forth now for that final podium spot.
I wonder if Hampshire had an issue, Jason, because there were like Hampshire was way out front.
Yeah, he lost 6 seconds to Cooper that last time around. And he was 13 seconds off of what Jet Lawrence put in. So, yeah, you have to wonder if there was a mistake or a crash for Hampshire to give that third place spot back up.
Did you see Jet was peeking over the left side, the peripherals, to see where Shimoda was. I think he's doing it, just keeping him at bay on purpose, not exerting any injury that he doesn't have to. See, look back right there. Great shots by our camera crew, getting the job done.
Fly battle box is Justin Cooper and Hampshire. That battle that has switched a few times, third and fourth, as we continue to watch the leader here, Jet Lawrence.
Well, Hunter needs to slow up. So he's got a minute to burn right here before he crosses the start-finish line. If he crosses it before the 1 minute is up, he's going to add another lap. And I can tell you from personal experience, that is like an eternity when you are at the limit physically. Heart rate is at its max.
Hey, this time in that first sector of the track, Shimoda closed. He went from 3.1 to 2.7, now 2.8. That's usually the section where Jet gets the better of him. This section is usually where Shimoda is quicker. We'll see by the time they get to the finish. And also, as you were theorizing, will the clock expire or not?
He's going to pass it before.
3 to go then.
Yeah, he's going to have about 15 seconds.
Yeah, this is the final corner right here, and there are still 19 seconds to go. So the 2-lap card not in sight. 3 to go for Jet Lawrence.
Oh,
wow.
Man. Oh, this is big.
And we'll see the gaps here. They'll update in a moment when they come through this stripe. Joe's trying to close in again. Jet off the side of the track looking for some smooth racetrack. Not much you're going to find here at Southwick.
Yeah, I think that Joe got held up by that lapper.
Yeah, he did, down to 3.7.
Yeah, he lost a lot of speed, so now he's going to have to hang it out here. But another 2 3/4 lap left. He's going to need some help from these guys if he wants to close the gap.
And Cooper has survived that battle with Hampshire. He now has 5 seconds to spare, back in third, but 21 seconds off of the leader. Joe's been making more moves. He's up to 6 behind Volan. Go ahead.
Talked about giving some perspective to our fans tuned in today. Why Southwick is so hard, and I like to put it to you guys this way. It's like, imagine walking in deep sand and then walking on hard-packed clay. Which is easier to walk on? Well, of course, you know, the sand is much harder, takes a lot more energy. That's what it's like for these athletes riding in sand. That's what it's like for the motorcycles. There's so much more resistance. It takes a lot more effort for these riders to muscle these bikes around because of the resistance.
Shimoda looking around, wants to see the gap between he and Jet.
Oh, he can see it. It's opening up, unfortunately, for Joe.
Yeah, we thought the 3 to go might work to Joe's advantage, giving him another lap to close in.
Well, Jet was getting us amped up in here inside the booth, Jason, making us think that Joe had a chance, and he looked back and just turned up the wick. And I don't mean Southwick. Look, he's gone now. It's like, it's amazing how this kid can do this at only 18 years old. It is certainly incredible.
I say it every week. You would think the hotshot 18-year-old is wild and reckless, but he rides with such veteran poise, especially outdoors. We've seen some rough edges in Monster Energy Supercross.
But not as much here in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship.
No, even from day one, his first full season, it was kind of quiet. He's a 5th to 6th place rider. Then last year wins the championship. We have not seen the big crashes, the big mistakes from him. Big reason why he has that #1 plate, and potentially will have the points lead after this moto. Now Hunter has moved up to 8th, so he has rallied late to make up some key passes. This is Volan and Robertson in a battle for 6th and 7th. Robertson is all over him, so Volan had passed him earlier. Oh! Robertson gets him.
Yeah, like Volan checks up right there. Robertson's like, I'm taking it. You can't give up that much ground. You can't check up at this level. These guys are just stalking you.
And Volan goes back after him. Actually, Moseman has passed them both. Moseman, man, from just inside the top 20 to 5th. Great ride by Moseman that won't show in the results. And Hunter Lawrence has caught these two. There is Hunter. See the red fenders. There he is.
Yeah, great comeback from Hunter Lawrence. That's a testament to his physical fitness. Not easy to do. Bad start. Took a tough crash, getting crossed up behind Styles Robertson's rear tire. Almost crashes again that we saw coming out of that corner. Slips up. Been eating roost the whole time.
Hunter in position now to take another spot. That'd be 1 championship point. That's the difference between 8th and 7th. Can he get Bolin right here? Oh, crossed him up. Beautiful move.
Same type of situation how Robertson got by Max Bolin. Quarter of the way through the corner, it looked like Bolin stood his bike up. Boom. Hunter was lined up to go right up the inside. That was a great pass by Hunter Lawrence. Think about this from a championships perspective. I know sometimes we talk about it. Every point counts. So that pass is crucial, could be crucial by the time we get to the final round.
Well, a wise man once said, you win your titles on your bad days. And right. He is persevering. 7th isn't what he came here to get, but it's a whole lot better than it could have been.
Well, and he still has an opportunity to gain some ground, possibly pick up another position right here if he's able to get by Styles Robertson. Certainly closing in the gap here, and he's got to push, continue to pressure, push, and get that 6th spot.
He's close enough to get there, but will he have time? We are on to the last lap. Shimoda put in a charge. Lawrence finally said, no. He just ran a 2:20 on this lap, and the gap that was once 3 seconds is 9.5. He put almost 4 seconds into Joe in 1 lap to finish this one off. We'll keep watching this battle between Robertson and Hunter Lawrence for 6th. Moseman, an underrated ride, for 5th. Hampshire 4th, Cooper 3rd, Shimoda 2nd, and Jet Lawrence headed for a Moto win. Hunter just keeps charging. And he has to. They're just getting the white flag now, as Jet is far ahead. I'm talking a minute, almost a half a lap further up.
Look at Hunter was trying to get up the inside there. Bummed that lapper, I think that lapper took an opportunity for Hunter to get by there. He still has a lot of, this is a long lap here. Needs to stick with Styles, be right on his rear end. Styles slips just one bit, boom, he needs to take advantage of that mistake or one little slip up. That's only if Styles makes a mistake. Now, if Styles doesn't slip up, then he's going to have to force the issue to get by and just be craftier with his lines.
The clock has expired, but Hunter's going to keep on digging on this final lap. No other changes on the racetrack. Kitchen a bad start. He has climbed up to 9th, and Romano, who was up front early, is back to 10th. Can Robertson hold Hunter Lawrence off? Jet Lawrence, meanwhile, you see him here, headed for daylight. Well, that was short-lived. Lost the points lead. Should have it back at the end of this moto, but in a little over an hour's time, we will have the second moto of the day. Jet Lawrence wins the first moto here at Southwick. Good management job by him. Made it interesting as Shimoda closed the gap.
I can't believe the gap he pulled in the last 2.5 laps.
Oh, there it is. Hunter, an aggressive move down to the inside and gets Robertson.
Wow, great pass by Hunter Lawrence. Last lap. Talked about it again. That could be the deciding move come the last race of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Might not seem like it now, but those points are all so important.
We had him in 16th place, and now he's looking to dig out a 6th. That's 10 points he made up in the last couple of laps of this moto. What an effort by Hunter Lawrence. What will he have left in Moto 2? Because you know he went deep in this one to make these passes late. The crowd saluting that effort. Shimoda has come across in 2nd, Justin Cooper 3rd. Hampshire 4th. Mosman 5th, and there it is. Minimizing the damage. Hunter Lawrence, 10 positions made up late in that one. Meanwhile, his brother Jet already into recovery mode for Moto 2.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Oil Pro Motocross is back at Spring Creek MX Park in Millville. It's the 40th annual Pro National, sponsored by Frescatos. It's a whole week of motocross fun as the gates open Wednesday, July 13th at 5, with practice all day Thursday and amateur racing on Friday, sponsored by Dunlop. Then the pros hit the track Saturday at high noon for the Pro National, sponsored by Frescatos, followed by amateur racing on Sunday, sponsored by 100%. Tickets on sale at the gate or buy them now online at springcreekmx.com. That's springcreekmx.com. No sellouts Saturday, July 16th. It's a day of fun for the whole family.
You had just won 3 championships in a row.
Man, Supercross is giving me everything. It's just had such a blast doing it.
And you get it all the way around here.
This past season, it's like I had 7 surgeries in 9 months. I don't want to be put under again.
I don't see the end in sight because, like, what else am I going to do?
That run out, you know?
Unleashed with Dingo and Davey, fueled by Monster Energy.
History being made. Eli Tomac wins the 450 main in Anaheim.
Eli Tomac,
6-time Daytona Supercross winner,
claims the victory in the Motor City.
Tomac, 5 in a row. Eli Tomac
Dominates in Indy.
wins in Seattle.
In 2022, the book of Eli is complete. He is the Monster Energy AMA Supercross champion.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean. Super easy, super fast.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
We're back at Southwick. Let's give you the highlights from our first 250 Moto of the day. The Lucas Oil race recap. Hunter Lawrence buried off the start, even gets bumped. He's way back. Meanwhile, his brother Jet grabs the whole shot. Justin Cooper in second, and then Jet crashes, so Cooper goes by to take over the lead. Didn't take long for Jet to reel him back in, and the mistake for Cooper opens the door. And Jet's back into the #1 spot. Things that go from bad to worse for Hunter Lawrence. Big crash, and he got hit by a couple of riders there. Unbelievable, he was able to get up relatively uninjured and somehow rally all the way back for 6th. Joe Shimoda really caught fire second half of this race, makes the move on Cooper for second, and even kept Jet Lawrence honest for the majority of this one. But the last 2 laps, Jet pulls back away and holds on for a 10-second win. So there it is. Jet Lawrence wins the Moto. As mentioned, Hunter comes back for 6th. We'll send it down to the podium with Will, who has our race winner.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, and with that finish, Jet Lawrence now getting back the points lead to the tune of 3 points there, Jet. You were just trying to figure that out in your head whether your brother would finish. Is there a feeling of relief now to get that back so quickly?
I mean, it's obviously nice. The day hasn't finished. He could easily win the next one. I could get second, and it's back to even. So it doesn't change much. I'm still going to try and go in and get another good start like I did and try and not make that silly mistake I did. It was I started to feel a bit too good on those first few laps, and I just relaxed a little bit, and that double was a little funny, and I kept on trying to hit it and just landed, and the front one just rolled over. I tried saving it, but I just ended up having to tip it over. But no, this track's pretty gnarly right now. It's got some rollers, but the rollers are really tight, so you can't do much with them. But no, the track's good. Hopefully just go and do the same in the second one.
Congratulations, Jet. Thanks so much.
And he doesn't look that tired. He's able to maintain it up front. Shimoda finishes second. Cooper back on the podium. Third in that Moto. Hampshire Mosman from way, way back to 5th. Lawrence perseveres for 6th. And he had a big battle with Robertson down to the wire. And watch this. Aggressive move by Hunter. Apparently there was some bad blood brewing here in this one. Look at this. Wow.
Whoa.
Getting really aggressive.
Wow.
Robertson saying, come on back.
Yeah, he was. I like it. They're fired up.
So that was a...
Yeah, I don't know what he was bummed about. I mean, Robertson probably raced him hard. It wasn't going to roll over for him.
It was for position there on that final lap. Lawrence gets the better of it. RC likes it. Yeah, don't worry, guys. We got another 250 Moto and another 450 Moto yet to come. We're only halfway through the day here on MAV TV from Southwick. So don't go anywhere. For now, signing off for Ricky Carmichael and Will Kristen, I'm Jason Wygant. See you in the next hour.
Welcome to Redford, Michigan!
This is a very unique and very special race. It's the Olympics of motocross.
You have just won 3 championships in a row.
Man, Supercross giving me everything. It's just had such a blast doing it.
And get it all the way around here.
This past season, it's like I had 7 surgeries in 9 months. I don't want to be put under again.
I don't see the end in sight because, like, what else am I going to do?
That run out, you know.
Unleashed with Dingo and Daly, fueled by Monster Energy.
The deep sand track at Southwick is recognized as the toughest test of man and machine in American motocross. And it is no surprise that the tough man, Eli Tomac, was the best of the bunch in our first moto earlier today, romping from 8th to 1st to take the win. It's time to line up and do it again. 40 riders, 30 minutes and 2 laps. Gonna drop the gate on Moto 2. It's round 6 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. The MB Tractor and Equipment Southwick National. Jason Wygant joined by the greatest of all time, Ricky Carmichael, to call the second 450 moto of the day. Eli Tomac came, he saw, he conquered in moto number 1.
Yeah, he's moving, picking up from where he left off in Redwood, Jason, and this guy is just unstoppable right now. But you got to give it up to Chase Sexton, minimizing the damage, coming back to second place. I like what he's doing.
Trying to keep it as close as he can. We'll show you the highlights of that first moto. It's a little over an hour ago. There's Sexton on the start. It's going to be his teammate, Ken Roczen, though, who gets the best jump and captures the motosport.com hole shot, just edging ahead of Ryan Dungey and Sexton. So Roczen leads early as a pile-up. Jason Anderson gets caught in it 2 weeks in a row. That has happened to Anderson. He's at the bottom with his bike buried under the sand. He'd come back to 8th. Christian Craig would get around Ryan Dungey for 2nd and then go after Roczen for the lead.
He would. Look at that quick pass to get the lead. Pulled out just a few seconds on Ken Roczen and the boys behind him. But that would save him to eventually ride into a 3rd place. Yeah, Ryan Dungey comes into that corner just a little too hard, buries the front end, berm gives away, and down he goes.
Then Eli Tomac, see him get by Dungey, and he was on a mission. Critical move to get around Chase Sexton, takes over 3rd.
Well, you talked to Chase Sexton after the podium, and he says he needed to be a little more aggressive early, but I don't know if he had enough to beat this guy, number 3, going right by Ken Roczen.
Yep, so that puts him into 2nd. Remember, his teammate Craig is still leading, and he just powers out of this corner.
Look at that. So fast, over jumping the jumps, just fully sending it.
Sexton has to respond and follow Tomac through. He uses the outside to inside line to get 2nd from Craig. As you said, RC, minimizing the damage. You can't beat Tomac. You got to finish as close to him as possible. And Tomac would rally, pull out almost 10 seconds at one point, got toward the end. Final margin of victory, 7.6 seconds over Sexton. Craig holds on for a hard-earned 3rd. Great ride. And Dungey, despite the crash, 4th. Roczen would have his troubles late. Max Anstey would squeeze by for a top 5. Anderson, after that crash, 8th. What a comeback for him. Savacci and Bloss rounding out the top 10. Riders have their last chance to survey this Southwick track before the 2nd and final moto of their day. We'll be back with moto number 2 after this.
Jackson Gray, 33rd place in Moto.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean. Super easy, super fast.
History being made.
Eli Tomac wins the 450 main in Anaheim.
Eli Tomac,
6-time Daytona Supercross winner,
claims the victory in the Motor City.
Tomac, 5 in a row. Eli Tomac
Dominates in Indy.
wins in Seattle.
In 20
2022. The book of Eli is complete. He is the Monster Energy AMA Supercross champion.
Welcome to Redmond, Michigan!
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive. General Tire. For whatever you do, General Tire delivers. And by Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance.
Well, all great stories have to start somewhere, and for motocross riders, the first chapter begins by earning their invite via qualifying for the Loretta Lynn's National Amateur Championship.
The first time I went to Loretta Lynn's, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. We pulled in and we were like, we are out of our leagues in this thing, but Loretta's was just that next level of seriousness, you know. It was an eye-opener, that's for sure.
Loretta's is like the one race that you strive to get to all year when you're an amateur. To actually get through qualifiers, get through regionals, and do all that you need to do to get to that place, it's pretty surreal when you do, because that's something that people work their whole lives for, and you know, to get into that prestigious race is a pretty awesome feeling.
My first time at Loretta Lynn's would have been 2006, I think. 50 junior class. I wasn't very good. I was kind of a slow learner, so going there my first time, it was a lot to take in. I was just there to have fun, honestly. I was not really there to win, just more there for the experience. I think my family was as well, so it was cool.
When you get into the ranch there, it feels like you're in different air. It's that type of place when you go there. So that's the first thing I remember is it's the big show, and it's intimidating.
Even as a little kid, you knew that was the pinnacle of amateur racing. I mean, that was the biggest race, and to win that, all the factories are there, they're watching you, and so the first year wasn't great, but I think it was good to experience it, get the nerves out, and from then on, just try to keep building every single year and getting better. And I was actually fortunate enough to win it my last year as an amateur. To be able to win Loretta's, it was a pretty cool moment.
That race can change lives. You can see the coverage on RacerTV.com. First week of August. Racing starts on Tuesday, August 1st, and runs through Saturday the 6th. That's always the place that the top stars of the future have to run through. And when they run to the pro level, they'll eventually have to tame this track here at Southwick. We'll let the riders talk about it with our MX versus ATV Legends track map.
Most challenging part at Southwick would obviously be the deep sand. It's the one race a year where you're dealing with those conditions. We deal with either hot weather or it rains there. So very challenging mentally and physically. I'd say the biggest thing is physically, just because of how much it wears your body down. So Southwick is one of those races you circle on the list and you make sure you're ready for it.
The most challenging part of Southwick is just making it through the moto period, and it wears on you. It wears on your body, so you gotta be fit and you gotta be ready for that one.
Okay, so that's our track. Let's send it down to Will Kristen.
Thank you, Jason. And our points leader, Honda HRC's Chase Sexton, still has some work cut out for him here today. Second in that first moto with a win here in Moto 2. He could take the overall here today, but we just heard from the riders that is not going to be easy to do here at Southwick. I checked in with Shane Drew, who is the crew chief for the 450s over at Honda, asked him what does he think Chase needs to do, and he told him more intensity in those first few laps. He said you can't eat the roost that you're eating, you've got to get out there early. Chase did say, well, what happens if I make a mistake? And Shane said, you got to get that balance right.
Easier said than
there
done.
You go. Physical preservation, bike preservation. We talked about it, the first motos, same as the second motos. You got to get that bike to the finish and get yourself to that finish. Find that limit, don't go over it.
That's the KTM keys to the moto. Chase Sexton learning on the fly how to run for a 450 motocross title under pressure from Eli Tomac. Revs are up. Gates down in Moto 2. It's Roxon again leading them into the first turn. Craig again on the inside, very similar to Moto 1. So Roxon has 2 Motosport.com whole shots today. And Plessinger third. That's about the best start we've seen from him this year. Alex Martin, a good start on the Muck-Off Club MX Yamaha in fourth. Where's Sexton? Where's Tomac? Anderson, a much better run. He got to the first turn.
Tomac's right up the inside.
Okay.
He's going to make the move on Ryan Dungey. Yeah, but great, to your point, great to see Plessinger up there. I want to see what he can do with a good start. He's had speed all season long, just been in some unfortunate circumstances, partially to his own doing. However, I think he has some decent speed to run up front here.
Tomac looking to get around the veteran Martin, who has announced this will be his last professional season, going to his home track next week at Millville, Minnesota. Martin trying to hold Tomac at bay, and he does. Roxon already pulling away from Craig.
Oh, Roxon gets to the outside of that berm. Nice save, ever so gracefully. Doesn't even look like he has an almost moment. For a mere mortal, it would have been, he'd have probably been in the cheap seats eating hot dogs by now.
Lights out. Okay, so Plessinger attacking Craig. Tomac all over A. Martin. Oh, Tomac had a wheel there on him.
Trying to get, oh, he's trying, there he goes.
He got it. So that'll move Tomac into the number 4 position, just ahead of Martin and then Dungey and then Sexton. So Sexton's going to have to do some work here. Oh, Tomac leaping to the top of that hill.
It's crazy here, these guys. I mean, the front runners. Oh, Sexton buries the bike in the berm. We talked about it, getting up high in those berms like that. You get into where it's really loose and it robs the power and the momentum in the corners. Oh, look at Dungey trying to get by Alex Martin.
Band of Motorcycles drone cam here. We got battles all over this track at Southwick.
Well, they fight for that track position, Jason. It's so important because if you lose that track position early, it's so hard to make back up on the front runner, especially if you're Chase Sexton. You want to get up there as quick as possible.
Look at Anderson sending it all the way down to the inside. Can he make this work? He did. He set that up 2-3 corners ago. Anderson around Sexton.
Awesome pass by Jason Anderson. Love the aggression early.
Oh, he's got to be frustrated with the way these starts and these motos have gone the last couple of weeks. So Anderson looking to make something happen here as we go back to Tomac. Closing in on Plessinger for third. And Plessinger is right there on Craig.
A lot of racing left. Now remember, this track's a lot rougher now than it was when they took their first moto over an hour ago. Conditions have certainly changed. Sometimes later on here at Southwick, the berms can get a little more identified. They can be a little bit better, but the roughness still gets bad.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Plessinger fighting so hard to make the move, and he does. Best ride we've seen so far this year from the 7.
Well, he's had speed. He's had speed all year long in the races, majority of the motos. He's just been so far behind, so far in the pack.
Let's send it down to Will with more on Aaron.
Something that might have helped him out there, guys. Talking to him earlier on this morning, he said they did make a shock change, which in his words gave him a lot more comfort. Obviously, we know he's still nursing that ankle injury there a little bit, but right now it seems to have made a bit of difference, guys.
Oh, yeah, this is the first time we've seen him run this high up in the order. Second right now, Plessinger, as the Yamaha boys fight it out for third. Craig versus Tomac.
track absolutely brutal. Like,
oh! They almost came together. Tomac had that speed up the hill the previous lap. There just wasn't enough room to pull it off. He still went for it.
I'd like to see if we can get a replay from that, but that's a really tricky situation, and it takes a lot of strength when you're G'd out because you're wanting to pull the front end up and keep that front end light, but the G-forces are pulling the front end down. It's going to be interesting to see here. Here's a replay. Okay, you can see Tomac up the inside, and I don't think Christian was thinking that Eli would be there, and that is an incredible save by Eli. Look, never takes his feet, that right foot off of the foot peg to maintain his balance.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was more room than I thought. Craig just moved over, and you saw Tomac shake his head.
Yeah,
maybe Craig was taken by surprise.
I think he was taken by surprise, Jason. I don't believe he would never do that intentionally to his teammate, or anyone for that matter. The risk is just too high.
And Tomac this time able to take the measure of Craig. Just so strong, Tomac, once he gets rolling. So now he's into third. That was almost a disaster there. They'll discuss it back in the truck, I'm sure. And Tomac has some clear racetrack to go after Plessinger.
I mean, I think it was a simple, just a misjudgment. Like I said, Christian Craig, there's no way he would have done that on purpose.
No.
And it's just too much to risk, not only for himself, but his teammate as well, and he just wasn't anticipating Eli to come up so fast. Eli came around that outside corner and just had so much more speed, and the closing speed was fast.
And you see behind Craig, Anderson putting pressure on Dungey, and they're getting away from Sexton, so Sexton's going to have to reset. So Anderson's past him and wants more. What a line by Anderson.
Anderson going everywhere, inside, outside, to try to get by Dunge. Can't quite do it. Dungey just too fast. Look at him going inside, outside.
Crosses him up again.
Oh, he's going to set him up right here.
And Anderson walked the tightrope. Yeah, just too deep.
A for effort, though, man. This guy's going for it. I love it. I love when Jason Anderson, watching him ride when he's in this mode right here, can go anywhere, inside, outside, just setting the guys up, not following. It's so much fun to watch.
Oh, the creativity, too, but also, man, did he eat a lot of sand in that one exchange. And he's got to reset here. Lost a little bit of ground.
Well, this is going to be a good opportunity for Ryan Dungey to possibly get podium overall if he's able to reel in the gap on Christian Craig. If he's able to fend off Jason Anderson and Chase Sexton here early and not lose a lot of ground to the guys in front of him, he's going to be in a great spot.
I don't think it would surprise people if Dungey gets a podium this year, if that first track where he did it was Southwick. He's had great success at this track. 3 overall wins at this facility. So a lot to play for here because Roczen continues to lead. There he is at the top of the screen. There's Plessinger in second. He's got it to 1.8, and they still have a decent gap relatively over Tomac, although you know certainly Tomac is capable of more if he finds that next gear. But right now it's Plessinger we're watching as he tries to close on Roczen. Craig fourth, Dungey fifth.
Well, Plessinger was 9th overall, 9th, 8th last week at Redbud, so certainly much better. Kenny was in 4th and 7th, but he was sick last week. 5th overall. Much better rides for these guys early on, but still a lot of racing left. Still 22 minutes plus 2 laps.
ETS Racing Fuels drone cam here. Man, if Plessinger can get this done, get the lead, or even just finish the moto on the podium, what a massive shot in the arm of confidence it would be for him.
Yeah, could you imagine? That'd be incredible.
Yeah, to go from 9-8 last weekend. He started the year at Monster Energy Supercross with a runner-up ride at round 2 and has not even been close to the podium since. Endured an arm injury, lost a lot of racing time with that. And it has been okay at times here outdoors, but not even near the potential we know that he has. This is more like it for Plessinger.
This is kind of Ken's MO right here. Get a good start, pull out, big of a lead as possible, cruise it on into the finish line. It'd be interesting to see if he can keep this momentum up to the finish line. You just wonder what happened that first moto. It'd be great to get a soundbite from him. If he makes the podium, can continue on this trend.
And now Tomac starting to close on Plessinger. Another battle here.
Oh, they got by Dungey. Anderson did, and now you got Chase Sexton right behind.
And Anderson has caught Craig. 4 riders battling Craig, Anderson, Dungey, Sexton. Sexton's got to send it here, and he does.
Wow, right around the outside. He's made some great passes. He passed Christian Craig in the first moto there on that outside. Now Ryan Dungey on the outside, but they're still grouped together. A lot of racing left. Anything can happen. It's going to be a good battle between those three guys.
And grouped together as well now, Plessinger and Tomac. So Tomac, as he did in Moto 1, took a few laps to get going. But boy, is he ever going now. Right there in a fight for second. We'll give you the battle box, brought to you by Fly Racing, so we can show you everything that's happening at once. The battle with Anderson and Craig. Anderson sends it. I think he just made the move. Anderson is on the gas in this one.
He is absolutely rolling, and that's the frustrating thing about it. You go back to last weekend at Redbud, where he had a great second moto, and that was with the crash. And then you go to the first moto where he fell down in the first corner. You just know he's better than what he is showing. And if he doesn't go down in the first corner or have an issue the first couple laps, these are the great things. These are the great rides that he can put in, Will.
And Ricky, I think, is fueling him a little bit right now. I was talking to Theo Lockwood, crew chief over there at Monster Energy Kawasaki, and he said, yeah, Jason's frustrated. I just wanted to check on, see that if he had suffered any injuries or the bike had had any damage from that tip over that you talked about there in the first turn of Moto 1. They did have to change out the muffler, but Jason Anderson himself, no problems, guys.
Well, that's great to hear. And then I go back to right here, like you're talking about, Jason. You see how well he's riding, and you just have to assume he'd be able to do the same thing had he not went down in that first corner. So incredibly, it's frustrating for me because I want to see him up here battling as well because he brings so much to the table.
Yeah, his 2022 season, you can define it by speed has not been the issue. He has been fast from day one, round one at Supercross back in January. It's just a couple incidents, some not even his fault, that have cost him points. Ended up second in the Supercross rankings, and he's lost some ground in this championship as well. Next battle we're watching is the battle for second is that Tomac ahead of Plessinger.
Well, and Kenny's right there in front of him, so they're not far off Kenny's rear tire either. This is going to be shaping up to be a nice three-way battle for the lead. Hats off to Aaron Plessinger, absolutely making it happen right here in this second moto. Track is rougher, got a great start. He is rising to the occasion with these guys.
Oh, this is what Plessinger and this Red Bull KTM team has needed, trying to get him back on track. They did not hire him to be a 8th, 9th place-ish guy, but he's had that happen far too often this summer. Much more like it, right in the thick of it with Tomac and Roczen. Plessinger, one of the tallest riders in this division, trying to make that work for him out there, and now getting a few glimpses at Roczen. Send it down to Will with Plessinger's mechanic.
That's right, Jay Dungey down here with me now. He's doing great. I saw you just write yes there on the pit board. What's the big difference for this week?
I kind of gave him a little tune in that last moto because I believe in the kid. I think he can do it, and it's just getting it out of him. And this moto, I think he's getting a taste of it, and he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. So he's holding on good, and we got a long moto left, so we'll hope for the best.
Thanks so much, Jake.
And that is Ryan Dungey's brother, actually, who's the mechanic for Plessinger. So he gave him a little chew in there between motos.
Yeah, such a great guy. I mean, identical to his dad. I love like seeing like side by side. Yeah, they're so similar looking. It's great, but he's a lot of fun.
But Jade had to get serious there, lighting the fire under Aaron, and it has paid off.
And sometimes that's all it takes, Jason, is just a little light in the fire. Especially when you know, like, he believes in his rider, and his rider knows that he sees and can hear that he believes in him, and, man, it's great to see.
Sexton not giving up on this battle with Anderson. They have cleared Craig and Dungey, and points are valuable for both of these riders. Anderson would not like to consider himself eliminated from title contention. He does not want to yield to Sexton, so they are probably going to take it to the wire. That is for 4th and 5th. We watch Tomac in the other Fly Racing battle box going after Plessinger. But Tomac is not blown by these two the way he was doing it in Moto 1.
Well, and then I go back to, you know, the rides that Tomac talks about or does or performs, and he'll hang back, and then he attacks. Maybe he thinks that the pace is too fast right now, that if he attacks now, he won't have enough juice to go to the end. So we'll certainly find out. We're getting down to the wire.
Methodical approach from Tomac right now, but he has inched up back to the rear wheel of Plessinger. The fans are loving this three-rider duel for the lead at Southwick. Big, long straightaway here. Tomac going to try to carry a ton of speed. A little mistake at the top of that ridge. Plessinger able to hold him off.
Oh, man. It's like waiting
Yeah.
for the other shoe to drop up here.
And what direction will it go? Will it be Plessinger on Roczen or Tomac on Plessinger? Or maybe Tomac all the way to the front?
Yeah, it's anybody's at this stage.
And that's what you love to see.
Either way, it's a lot of fun. I love watching this. Tough to call because you just you can't exactly call what is going to happen.
Wow, Roczen leaping out of that turn, clearing a couple of bumps. Completely different line than the rest of these riders.
Yeah, good drive out of there.
And then through another one of these pits. Pretty slow through here. Gonna open back up in a moment. Oh, such a hard landing.
Wow, yeah, one little over jump, boom.
Well, they're trying to land in a certain, I'm assuming on the backside of one of those loops.
Yep, they're trying to land. So after these roller jumps, okay, these big roller jumps, they have like big rollers from acceleration bumps, and these guys are trying to like double them, triple them, so they can land on the backside of those big rollers to keep their momentum up.
All right, we're halfway through, 15 minutes down, 15 minutes to go. You could save 15% or more on your insurance by giving Geico a quick phone call. And what's going to happen in the final 15 minutes of this one? Tomac pressing Plessinger. Tomac's trying to set himself up on the inside here. Here's the big leap. They're side by side now. This could be the pass. It is.
Oh, he got him. Is he going to have a clear track? He does. I wasn't sure if the lapper was going to get in the way. Man, he just reels right up to the rear end of the 94.
I think
Ken
he called
Roczen.
it. He just waited, and all of a sudden things have changed in a hurry. He's right there. 14 minutes and 2 laps, and now Tomac's in position to go for the lead.
I love watching this. When he gets in those modes.
He's on the inside. Fans sense an opportunity. It's a really long straightaway here. Can he draw up alongside? And we've seen these two battles so much through the years. We got another classic.
That is a tough spot that Ken Roczen is in right now. It's like a lone man on an island. He could probably see or hear the wrath of Eli Tomac coming. He knows he's back there, and you're just like, oh no, pushing as hard as he can and just can't gap this guy.
And Tomac tried a couple insides that didn't work. It allowed Plessinger to sneak back into this battle. So Tomac's got to be aggressive here.
Remember how we talked about the first moto? I told you guys to watch Eli Tomac, how he goes lower in the corners on these big sand berms. He's kind of doing the same thing against Ken Roczen. See right there, how he goes a little more inside. Like I said, it's less resistance on the motorcycle. Bike rolls a little bit easier. I think he knows he has Kenny in the bag.
Oh yeah, we know one of the areas he likes to make passes, that back straightaway. That's where he got Plessinger. That's where he made a bunch of moves in Moto 1. Oh, he's going to send it around the outside here. Long way around. Puts you on the inside. What a move by Tomac to grab the lead.
Great run. I mean, just a power move by Eli Tomac. Eli could probably see where Ken was laboring and slowing down.
Plessinger trying to respond. He's all over Roczen now. He wants second, and I think it's bye-bye for everybody. Tomac, he just waited, and he has found another level. We follow this battle for second. Can Plessinger use the same line he wants to that Tomac used on him? He's trying to get to the left. Couldn't do it.
This is a great battle and a spectacular ride by Aaron Plessinger.
Squared it to try to get some room on the inside, but Roczen had it covered.
And these guys, so if you're Aaron Plessinger and you can see Kenny, you know, rolling up and standing up, when I say standing up, like easing up in certain areas, it's, you know, that he's in difficulty and he's not at 100%, whether he's fatigued or whatever that might be. You can sense that as a rider, so he's all over him, probably waiting to mount an attack. He knows where he could, a good passing zone to get by Kenny.
And there's more on the line here for Plessinger. If he makes this pass, it would be for third overall. He would push Roczen off the podium, and he'd have his first overall podium of the year. Probably doesn't realize all that math. He just wants the position on its own.
Well, they got 11 laps plus 2 to go. No, pardon me, 11 minutes plus 2 to go. Oh, look at AP goes the inside.
Whoa! Almost there. Keeping a wheel on him to try to get to the inside for the next corner, and it paid off. Plessinger to second. And this is where Roczen had been jumping down into that pit, but there wasn't any room that time with Plessinger right in front of him. So Plessinger is going to try to set sail. Man, well, we know firsthand here how mental this game is. I can't imagine that much change for Plessinger between motos. He is a totally different person.
Yeah, that's crazy how guys do that.
One thing didn't change, RC.
No.
Eli Tomac looking for the 1-1 here at Southwick.
Coming into this year, January, I break my pelvis the week of Oakland. The doctor's like, dude, don't walk on it for a month. I remember calling my parents. I'm like, well, I'm done. Like, and it's contract year. I was like, so I just wasted all this. I don't really see a sport that's like it, to be honest with you.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Got the GoPro here with Justin Barsha. So from earlier today, showing you exactly how rough this Southwick track is.
Picture perfect. Crystal clear.
And that's your GoPro course preview here from Southwick. And you would need a zoom lens if you want to see Eli Tomac in front of you, because he has pulled away from this field. He's opened it up to 5.7 seconds. Geez, 3 laps ago, he was in 3rd place.
He's on cruise mode at this point. Now just about maintaining that lead.
And we were talking about this yesterday. He's done it so much, we take it for granted how good this guy is and how difficult it is to do what he does. This track is so rough, and, you know, we kind of knew going in he'd have the edge compared to Sexton, who has not had that much time or success. But this track, certainly nothing compared to Eli. But going out and executing, there are no automatics in this game. But boy, has he put it together, and you love the strategy where he just kind of waited them out. And then when he put the hammer down, it was over.
And he's putting the pressure on Chase Sexton here. And what I mean by that is he's forcing Chase Sexton into position where Chase is going to have to start winning. Yeah, Chase can rely on being consistent as well, but he's going to have to straight up beat Eli Tomac.
Well, before this race, we had a chance to ask Tomac if he liked his position he was in the championship.
I'm in a good spot. I wish I had the red plate at this point, but I feel like I'm in the thick of the series where I do well. I love the tracks that we're at right now and what we have coming to us. Chase is riding really well. He's been super consistent, and for me, it's like who's going to be the first guy to blink kind of thing, the way me and him are riding this year. So that's it. Thankfully, I was able to get much improved after round 1. I struggled there, so that's where I gave my big points away. But now I feel like we are rolling, and it's just an all-out battle at this point.
There you go. From the man himself. And he's exactly right. Which guy is going to blink first, or which guy's going to, you know, which guy's going to crack? Which one's going to not get good starts all the time or lay the bike down? I feel like they have to be so close to each other. But I feel like with this win here, the dynamic is going to shift. And Chase is going to, like I said, going to have to start beating Eli straight up.
And you see the event points as they run. Tomac will make up 10 points in the series on Sexton if it ends like this. Sexton did get around Anderson, by the way, to move into 4th. But Tomac was only down 7 coming into this race, so he should take the points lead by 3 if it ends this way. There's Roxon, there's Sexton. The Sexton has the opportunity to get a few more points. Wouldn't be enough to hold the points lead, but it would be enough. We're in a series where every point could count. It's enough worth fighting for. 5 minutes and 2 laps to go, so still plenty of time for Sexton to get Roxon. Survive the battle with Anderson. And then Anstey is 6th, Dungey 7th. Roxon leaping through those bumps downhill.
If Tomac wins, he's won every moto that he's led laps. It's 7 for 7. He just doesn't give up leads. You know, when he gets into the lead, rarely does anybody pass him back.
Oh, there's no doubt. When he gets that beast mode, we haven't seen many people able to fight back, even some of the best of the best. Roxon, Dungey, those guys even know it firsthand how tough Tomac is. Right now, Roxon's challenge is to try to hold his teammate off. This would be for 3rd in the moto. We're looking at a Tomac, Sexton, Plessinger top 3 overall today. Roxon has been bumped back to 4th overall. And plenty of time again for Sexton to go get this. Now, Sexton admitted coming into this summer that sand really had been a weakness. He's really worked hard on it. Rides with Tyler Rattray. Rattray, a 2-time winner of this race in the 250 class. Guy out of South Africa who owns a track down in Florida. That's where Sexton rides. They've been putting in a lot of work on the sand tracks there to shore up his game. And he's definitely gotten better this year. There's no doubt Sexton is much improved.
Oh, 100%. He's been doing a great job, especially in the outdoor series. I've been really impressed. Doesn't look like he's pushing the issue here today like sometimes he normally does. Like I go back to last weekend, Redbud, you could really see the aggression where I'm sure he is obviously trying here, but you can't see it quite as much. To me, it's not as identifiable.
Yeah, he said last week when he got tangled up with Anderson, it actually made him mad. Then he really started to uncork it, and he'd been stuck behind riders for several laps. But once he got up, he blew by all of them except Tomac to finish 2nd. So we'll see how aggressive Sexton is here.
Yeah, from a championship standpoint and points, it'd be crucial that he gets by his teammate right here.
Roxon really got held up by the traffic entering this section. Tomac is gone, but Sexton has at least an opening to make up or get closer in the standings if he can make this move.
Well, he's made these passes along the outside right here. Jason, let's see if he's able to get out there and do it again.
Yeah, he has loved this outside to in. He's a little bit further back when it started this time, and there's a lap rider there. He couldn't do it. And Roxon wisely goes wide. Pinches the line off for his teammate. Sexton will have to reset. That was one of his best areas on the track.
Incredibly frustrating. Like, I'm putting myself in this position. I've been here several times, and you know you can get by the guy, and he just, certain circumstances prevent that from happening. Incredibly frustrating if you're Chase Sexton.
Roxon reminds me of your old rival Chad Reed in his later days. He was never dirty. He just would put the bike exactly, not this time. Not in a long straightaway like that. Sexton gets by. But that's where Roxon's so good. He'll just end up exactly where you wanted to go. But this time, nothing he can do about it on a big long straightaway like that. Sexton's up to 3rd.
That's by design. Kenny's an intuitive rider.
Yep.
He can sense where the rider behind him is possibly going to eye him up and make a pass.
So he held him off for a while. Oh, and Sexton got off to the side, almost went down.
And that's where that G-out situation is like we were talking about in the first moto. These guys, they're G'd out, suspension is maxed out completely, and you try to move and you can't because there's just so much force.
Roxon trying to fight back. This is for 3rd. And honestly, I cannot tell the difference. What is just the track being brutal and what are these guys are just tired in some of these sections. The speeds are so much lower than they were earlier in the day. But how about that? Big error from Sexton trying to leap over some of these bumps. But every one of these guys has got to be fighting it to some degree, I would think, at this point. Yeah.
It's tough to do. But I'm watching the timing and scoring. Sexton's got a ways to go to catch Plessinger. It's going to be hard. He's 4 seconds back, just under 4 seconds back.
Well, how bad do you want it? We do know how bad he needs it to be able to do the 2-2 again and just keep minimizing the damage on Tomac's good days.
I mean, last lap, Tomac ran a 2:18. Second best was Max Anstey as a 2:20.
That's unbelievable.
He's over 2 seconds, 3 seconds a lap faster than the rest of the crew.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
And he already has a 10-second lead. He doesn't even need to do that. So we will keep the watch here on Sexton. Oh, and he is closing at an alarming rate. You saw it coming.
Well, and this goes back, I go back to the championship situation. It adds up. You got to keep pressing on, Chase. You want to keep this thing close, keep the pressure on. Let Eli know that you are strong. You had to come from behind. You made those late passes. It will pay dividends, I can promise you.
Yeah, when Will talked to Lars Lindstrom, the team manager, earlier today in qualifying, that's what he said. We want to show Tomac that we are strong, that we're going to fight for it. And there is some definite fight in Chase Sexton right now to try to track Plessinger down. He was way back. And in these final 2.5 laps, can he get the second?
Oh, it's going to be so close. I wonder if AP is going to make a last couple lap surge here to keep himself in podium position.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the overall, I don't think, even if Plessinger gets past, but I don't know if he knows that. So he's going to have to go all out, you would think, to have an insurance policy. Won't want to roll over.
Well, the best moto that Aaron Plessinger has had in his 450 career would be last year at the first round at Paula. He got second, so he would tie his best moto finish.
If he gets Plessinger, it will re-vault Sexton back into the points lead. He'd be down 1 right now. So he already got 2 back getting Roxon. Could get 2 more if he gets AP. And he'll hold on to the red plate as we go to Millville, Minnesota next Saturday. How will this turn out? Both riders digging so deep. That section is so rough.
Man, these guys going for it. Sexton cleaning his goggles off. He has just been getting covered all moto long. Okay, this is the section. Remember, he's made several passes around the outside here.
This time, fading to the left.
Yeah,
No, there it is. Here's the run. The bomb run down the hill. Can he beat him back to the inside? Sexton is done, and he's up to second.
I thought he was going to overshoot the entry of the corner. He's been picking him off there all day long.
Woo, came in hot. Just got the Honda stopped. What an effort.
Yeah, big pass. Not only to keep the red plate. He's got 2 more laps to bring it on to the finish. If he can make it through this next lap, not let Aaron Plessinger make up any time on him and get on that rear wheel, I think he'll have it locked in.
So impressive. Way back and forth. Gets Roxon, gets Plessinger. Now a lap and a half to go to bring it home. And it's enough, if it stays this way, to maintain the points lead by 1 point. A 1-point gap in the standings at the halfway mark.
Well, these 2 guys have certainly... Oh, whoa. That was a close one. Leaned into it and saved it, but certainly these 2 guys, Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac, have established themselves as they are the front runners for this championship. You can bet it. Any unforeseen incidents, it's going to go down between these 2 guys. The other riders just can't quite seem to get there. Whatever the circumstances may be, whether it's bad luck, not feeling comfortable on their motorcycles. But at the end of the day, Sexton and Tomac have been the most consistent and somehow, some way find themselves on the podium and up front, all 2 motos every time.
Unbelievable the way he airs these jumps out.
Yeah, these are blind jumps, so they're going all on timing and feel and sound of of the RPMs.
Yeah, if he lands one direction or the other, long or short, and hits one of those holes in a different way.
It's not pleasant.
No. And plus, again, these guys are going to be at their most fatigued. The track so rough. Those rollers that he just went through there, John Dowd, one of the legends at this track, multi-time winner. He built those with his dozer yesterday. Said, I'm pre-building in some bumps for these guys.
I love it.
Oh,
the rougher the better.
They laugh.
I love seeing these athletes be put to the test.
And if they hear any complaints, they're just going to go out there and make it even worse.
Yeah.
Don't tempt these guys. These are some of the Iron Men of motocross who helped build this facility that they grew up racing on. John Dowd, Keith Johnson, and his family who operate the facility. Looks like Marshall Welton about to go a lap down, and Sexton gets him. Also, shout out to Doug Henry, another local legend who does the skid steer work. And Mike Treadwell, a local pro here as well. Did well as a rider in this national. Oh, yeah. He's part of the crew. We go back to Eli Tomac with a lap to go.
Picture perfect from that second moto at Mount Morris.
Really? Yeah.
All last weekend, the Red Bud, now this weekend, and he's passing everybody. He's passing the best guys, so you can't question, not that anyone would. So as a rider, if you're Eli Tomac, there's no better way to win, especially when you come up through the pack and pass all the fast guys. It's great for you mentally, and really just puts a stamp on it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He came in with a lot of people expecting it to go this way at Southwick, but you got to actually make it happen. And when he was 8th early in the first moto, I thought, man, maybe we've got to throw the script away. He waited, and then once he got rolling, he went right to the front. And then you had a feeling in Moto 2 he would do the same. You kind of called it about a lap before the charge happened. 14 minutes to go. He put the hammer down. And this is where Tomac excels. Pretty amazing, the versatility. This guy is so good in Monster Energy Supercross. But you get him on a rough, gnarly outdoor track, and he is just a beast. So he can do the full gamut. And about to bring it home here. What a season he has had so far. And the last time a rider won the Supercross and Motocross titles in the same year was Ryan Dungey way back in 2015. And Tomac making a bid for that in 2022. He will not take the points lead. He's going to miss it by 1 point as we are 6 races down with 6 to go in this series. But boy, does he ever have the momentum on his side, aiming for 5 straight Moto wins. The man who is 3rd all time in overall wins in this class behind you and Ryan Dungey just keeps adding to his total. 3 straight overall wins, 5 motos in a row en route for the Monster Energy Yamaha star racing man. And he's embraced by the fans as Eli Tomac goes 1-1 at Southwick. And in what could be his final visit to this track, he leaves on top. Waiting for the other riders to come across here is Plessinger. Sexton is across the line. Aaron Plessinger is going to get a moto podium and an overall podium. That's going to feel like a win for him.
Oh, yeah. Great job by Aaron Plessinger. That'll give him, so I'd assume that would give him some confidence mentally to know that if he gets a good start, keeps it upright those first few laps, makes some good passes, gets up front, he can contend for podium.
Long, coming back from a pretty bad arm injury, and finally gets it to click. As for Tomac, well, it clicked a couple of races ago. Remember, we thought he was en route to the overall win in Colorado until Sexton tipped over in the last lap, and that changed the map. Could have been 4 straight overalls. Everything going Tomac's way right now. All right, RC, check out 6-year-old Drake Peterson from Temescal Valley, California.
Man, Jason, Drake is ripping on his 16 e-drive. If you want to be on a future broadcast, scan the QR code you see on the screen and submit your video entry. STACYC offers riders the ability to ride and progress almost anywhere.
So check out the entire lineup of STACYC products.
This is a very unique and very special race. It's the Olympics of motocross.
new CRF 250R. Lighter, faster, stronger. Ready to help you find your edge.
I can't have you just rolling your eyes at us. You got some.
Hey, where are you going? Hey. That's the giveaway bike. Hey, come on.
Hey, we're supposed to put that back in the shop.
Get off that thing.
You're supposed to be riding that thing.
That's the giveaway bike. Come on, man.
Enter to win at motorsport.com/win.
Welcome to Redmond, Michigan!
This is a very unique and very special race. It's the Olympics of motocross.
Rated E for everyone.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
Welcome back, everybody, to Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. We're here in Southwick, Massachusetts, 450 Moto 2 just done, and wow, a dominating performance from you, Eli. That is now 5 Moto wins in a row. We're at the official halfway point of this season here now. Do you feel in control of this championship yet?
Well, we're just doing what we can. You know, this is a gnarly points race. Obviously, neither of us has really made a mistake yet or blinked, and we're both pushing each other. And that time I got a better start. AP was riding awesome. So was Kenny. I had to work really hard to get to the front of that one. This place is a lot of fun, but at the same time, it brings a lot of pain. I mean, at the end of that moto, your legs are done. So enjoy it. Love the sand. And thank you to all the fans. Thank you, Monster Energy, Star Racing, Yamaha, Alpine Star, Oakley, Bell Helmets, PPG. And another great weekend for us.
Thanks so much, Eli. Congratulations. You are now only 1 point off the points lead.
And that's what we were saying. No matter how fit you are, his legs are done. We'll give you the Lucas Oil race recap real quick, show you how this turned out. Tomac gets rolling, gets around Plessinger, and then closes in on Roxon for the lead. And this outside turns to an inside. Power move for the lead for ET3. Got away from there. Here's Plessinger getting around Roxon.
Yeah, he was sitting there lurking, finally got deep into this race. He was able to get by Kenny. Just a fantastic ride by Aaron Plessinger.
And Sexton salvaging it late. He was mired back there, but then he gets Roxon, and then here goes around the outside. He loved this line all afternoon and uses that to get around Sexton to at least get second place points, which is the best he could do on a day where Tomac was unbeatable. And there's the win, and you hear the crowd response as well. Sexton, a hard-earned 2-2, and Plessinger is going to be on the podium in the Moto and overall. Let's send it back to the podium.
Thank you, Jason. Hard-earned is exactly the right way to put that. Chase, congratulations there. I don't know how you had that left in you to do that, to fight that hard towards the end of the Moto there, and you've kept a hold of this red plate.
Man, that was a tough race. I definitely didn't get a good start, and those guys were gone, and I put my head down. This place has never been my favorite, and today I actually had fun, so I'm just happy to get out of here still with the red plate, and the rest of these tracks I really like, and I'm looking forward to battle with Eli. He's been on a roll lately, which I got to stop, but man, it's just been it's been fun. That was a tough moto. Probably one of my best motos all year, just coming from the back, and just stoked with the team. My bike's already handling great, and man, I just want to keep this thing going. Hang on to that red plate. We got to start winning motos and win races, but just having a blast. And these fans are awesome, and they kept me going out there.
Impressive ride. Congratulations, Chase.
That's 2 weekends in a row of 2-2s for Sexton. And that has led to this. Tomac has taken the points all the way down to 1 at the halfway mark.
Look at that. It is tight. I like what Chase Sexton says. He says he's glad to get out of here at the points lead, and he likes the tracks coming up.
Okay, It's game on. Sexton has not won an overall since the opening round of the series, but he has sure done a good job maintaining that lead through consistency. There's your standings. Roxon Anderson, Dungey, Craig, top 6. Rough go of it for Barsha today with a couple crashes. And Plessinger moving up. He's 8th in points. That's going to do it for our 450 Moto 2 coverage. We're in a rush to get our 250 final Moto of the day going. So congrats out to these guys. They put on a heck of a show. And it turns out to be the Eli Tomac story as expected going in, but he had to work for it against this 450 field. And we'll resume this battle next Saturday from Millville, Minnesota. For now, signing off for Ricky Carmichael and Will Kristen, I'm Jason Wygant. Stay with us for 250 Moto 2.
Oil Pro Motocross is back at Spring Creek MX Park in Millville. It's the 40th annual Pro National, sponsored by Frescatos. It's a whole week of motocross fun as the gates open Wednesday, July 13th at 5, with practice all day Thursday and amateur racing on Friday, sponsored by Dunlop. Then the pros hit the track Saturday at high noon for the Pro National, sponsored by Frescatos, followed by amateur racing on Sunday, sponsored by 100%. Tickets on sale at the gate or buy them now online at springcreekmx.com. That's springcreekmx.com. No sellouts Saturday, July 16th. It's a day of fun for the whole family.
I can't have you just rolling your eyes at us. You got some.
Hey, where are you going? Hey. That's the giveaway bike. Hey, come on.
Hey, we're supposed to put that back in the shop.
Get off that thing.
You're supposed to be riding that thing.
That's the giveaway bike. Come on, man.
Enter to win at motorsport.com/win.
Through the first 5 rounds, Joe Shimoda and the Lawrence brothers of Jet and Hunter have separated themselves from the pack in 250 motocross. In the first moto earlier today, Hunter had his problems crashing early, and Shimoda pushed Jet Lawrence to the end, but Jet was able to come out on top. So who will take the momentum into the second half? 2022, final moto of the day from Southwick is next. We are back. It's round 6, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, the MB Tractor and Equipment Southwick National, all sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. Jason Wygant joined by the GOAT, Ricky Carmichael, and Will Christian is patrolling from the racetrack as we await the final moto of the day, which is 250, moto number 2. Jet Lawrence got the edge on everybody earlier, and let's see if he can replicate that here in the second moto. Let's give you the highlights and show you how Jet got that done. Two different stories for two different Lawrence brothers. There's Jet, now no longer with the red plate or the points lead on his bike. Hunter now has the points lead after Jet had problems last week. But Hunter, see the green gear? He gets bumped and banged around going into turn 1. He's way back. Jet, meanwhile, grabs the whole shot. And it was looking good for Jet early, but then he goes down after building a lead. Justin Cooper right here is going to take the lead from him. Jet Lawrence to go back to work on Cooper, who makes a mistake, almost goes down, and that allows Jet to retake the lead. Now Hunter trying to come back through the traffic. Look, he gets hit not once but twice. Can't believe he survived that one without injury. He was in 16th place, would somehow rally all the way back to 6th. Then Shimoda, last week's winner, gets rolling. Here he is taking 2nd place away from Justin Cooper, and one Ricky Carmichael thought he had a shot at going after Jet.
I really did, because he was catching up extremely quick, but I think Jet Lawrence was toying with us up here in the booth.
All right. And last 2 laps, yeah, Jet puts the hammer down and locks down the moto win. And this gets crazy in the last lap, an aggressive pass from Hunter on Styles Robertson. And look at this.
Heated up. Look at it. Hunter grabbing his Styles helmet. Styles says, come on back here, I want some.
Wow. So not sure where that started on the last lap, but raised emotions for sure. You see that was a battle for 6th and 7th. Levi Kitchen comes from far back to 8th. Michael Mosman from far back to 5th. RJ Hampshire was 4th. Nick Romano rounded out the top 10. So that was Moto 1. We'll take those results and combine them with the upcoming Moto 2 to determine the overall winner at Southwick today. Can Jet Lawrence go for the 1-1 already as of this moment back into the points lead in the class? We'll be back from the Wick after this.
Lucas Oil, it works.
I run Lucas Oil.
It doesn't matter if you're on the water,
Driving to work,
or competing in a sold-out stadium.
Lucas Oil products will help you get the most out of your vehicle.
Monster Jam has run Lucas Oil in and on our trucks for over 10 years.
we wouldn't run anything else.
Lucas Oil, the official oil of Monster Jam.
Clean up your toughest messes super easy, super fast. Only Super Clean is formulated to do the work for you. Just spray it on and watch the grease and grime wash away. Super Clean is the only cleaner degreaser that is scientifically formulated to kick any mess to the curb, so you can move on to more important things. For all of your greasiest, grimiest, toughest tasks around the house, shop, or garage, Super Clean gets the job done. Super Clean, super easy, super fast.
New CRF 250R. Lighter, faster, stronger. Ready to help you find your edge.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive. General Tire. For whatever you do, General Tire delivers. And by Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance.
Here's a GoPro course preview. Michael Bozeman on the Troy Designs Red Bull Gas 250. Just want to listen to this.
Love it. Isn't that an awesome view? Look how crystal clear it is.
Yeah, that's good stuff. The GoPro course preview from Southwick. We'll give you another look with the MX versus ATV Legends track map.
There it is. The Wick Motocross 338. Toughest track on the circuit, hands down, asking a lot out of you. Look at that. Look at those rollers going into that corner. Extremely tough. The bike is G'd out like you're on a roller coaster. Just all that force into these big sweeping sandy berms. Riders just getting blasted by sand, covered by sand, swallowing sand.
Oh,
just tough.
Rollers coming out of that corner. Significant for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So this track is at its roughest right now. Final moto of the day. Okay, we're going to try to sort out that. You saw that fight between...
Okay. That might have initiated the situation. I mean, Hunter Lawrence is lucky that it wasn't as bad as what it could have been. And there you go. See, he was getting fed up with him because he probably couldn't get by him. Rightfully so. But Styles wasn't doing anything wrong. Now, this probably had something to do with there, yeah.
All right, let's find out what happened. It's Styles Robertson and Hunter Lawrence. Send it down to Will.
Thank you, guys. And yes, we just saw the incident there, what happened, and obviously the altercation that came after that. Hunter Lawrence is okay, except for one thing. He has apparently chipped his tooth in half. So clearly not completely unscathed in that, guys. But you know, Hunter Lawrence is probably only going to fire him up here. So let's see what he can get done here in the second moto of the day.
Yeah, definitely fired up, no doubt about it. But how much energy did he expend with that deep effort to come through the pack after the crash? And we're going to give you the KTM keys to the moto. You say physical preservation. They were not worried about that when they were arguing with each other.
No,
heart rates were elevated.
They were not in bike preservation. And I tell you what, the physical part of this second moto, the track is as rough as it's going to be, is going to be key. There's no doubt about it, because they're not going to be able to ride the bikes, I don't think, quite as fast this time, because it's going to be so rough. So it'll give the bikes a little bit of reprieve. But nevertheless, man, don't go into the deep zone physical-wise, because if you do, it's very hard to recover from that, and do the best that you can to make it to the finish line.
And as Jet Lawrence, after a dominant performance in Moto 1, said, it could just as easily flip here in Moto 2. Certainly that could be the case, but it's really just a bad start that caused all the things to unravel for Hunter Lawrence. So you're only one good or bad start away from a complete momentum shift in this series. There is Jet. Wisely, looks like he's going to line up next to the starter's box. That at least reduces some of the risk. No one's going to be able to come over on him coming out of the gate on his right side. But he's got Shimoda lined up just next to him. And Shimoda's making a run in that first moto, RC, trying to get him. He's got speed today.
He's had a lot of speed the last couple weeks. It's going to be fun to watch. Can't give up that track position early, though, Jason.
No, he said, because Joe's always pretty raw with it, I was slow early on. That was a problem. Once he got going, he made passes in a hurry, but it took a little while to get there. And we hear Hunter Lawrence. Yeah, he's on the opposite side of that starter's box with Justin Cooper next to him. And watch that 29 of Michael Mosman. Came from about 18th to 5th in that first moto. He was on the gas. Didn't see much of him because he started so far back. So there are spoilers amongst us. The Lawrence brothers still tussling for the series points lead. Fly Racing 32nd card is up. Final race of the day. The roughest Southwick is going to get this year. Who will tame it best? There it is. Card sideways. Revs come up. We're underway. Chet Lawrence knifes to the inside, and Tim and Justin Cooper going for it. See a couple of those Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing bikes up there. It's also Levi Kitchen. That's the other Yamaha, but Chet able to get the lead. Hunter Lawrence to the stripe in 10th.
These guys coming around that after that first corner, up that straightaway so fast.
Kitchen able to just squeeze inside. I thought Cooper had him edged off, but Kitchen able to get to second.
Yeah, it was like a game of chicken between the two teammates, but Levi Kitchen, he had the advantage on the inside.
Kitchen has never been to this track before in his first full pro season, and Robertson has got himself another good start. So he is 4th on that Rockstar Husqvarna. That the neon green, the Fly Racing gear there, that's the easy way to pick him out. He has really been rallying. He did have the dust up after the moto with Hunter, but the other story is how improved he was on the podium last week, and another good run in Moto 1. Can he follow it up here in Moto 2? LeBlanc is 5th. Here's Kitchen. Well, it's not what anyone wanted to see. Chet Lawrence getting that lead early on. Drone's going to give you the battle for 5th. LeBlanc, Swoll, and Shimoda. That's the green Kawasaki that you see there. That's Shimoda in 7th. And Hunter Lawrence making quick passes. He just got around. Is that Swoll who might have already been shuffled back?
It might have been.
You got around one of the Husqvarnas, and I think that's Swoll there that's behind him right now. Now Hunter's going after the 411 of Nick Romano. Oh, frustrating day to say the least for Hunter Lawrence. He's having to come through the pack again.
It's like musical chairs early on in these laps. You got a guy coming from behind trying to make up some time.
Hunter's on the outside here, going to make a big run at it, where the track's a little bit smoother. Not able to get close enough.
Not close enough there. Trying to make that outside work like Chase Sexton in the 450 class. Man, he put on some great moves there around the outside, able to keep his speed and momentum up.
Green flag waving. First lap is complete, and it is all Chet Lawrence right now. Levi Kitchen going to give him a run. He's pulled away a bit from Justin Cooper. There's Robertson in 4th. And then behind him, you've got that LeBlanc-Shimoda battle we were just watching. Then it's Romano and Hunter Lawrence. So they told Joe slow early in that first moto. Let's see if he can get on his horse a little earlier here. Kitchen making a charge for the lead.
A lot of racing left right here.
Yeah.
Never been to Southwick.
He must have learned a lot in Moto 1.
You've never been to Southwick. Yeah, you learned that first moto, but man, a lot of racing left. He's feeling spunky here this second moto. Levi Kitchen is certainly fun to watch. Let's see if he's able to go the distance.
He does have a moto win from earlier in the year. That was a surprise. He had been struggling with starts. He pulls a whole shot in Colorado. Made it look easy from there. Won the moto. He's been trying to replicate it, but the starts have not been good since. Finally, he's back up front early, and he's making the most of it. Kitchen out of Washougal, Washington, so in 2 weeks we'll be at his home track. And he's a real cool character off the track. Fun guy to talk to. And trying to soak up as much as he can as he learns these facilities and really learns the schedule and the art of pro racing. Look at this. He wants to make the move.
Well, and you wonder, he's clearly got the bike control. He's an unbelievable rider. But you just got to think, why can't he do this every single moto?
Yeah.
I know his starts are a little inconsistent, so if he can fix that, he'll be a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, he has run Jet down and was almost held up in that one section. See Jet try to respond to this challenge, and they've put 4 seconds into third place Justin Cooper, as you watch with our Beta Motorcycles drone cam. Let's see if Kitchen's got a line here.
I would say Kitchens is one of the only guys in this 250 class to have straight up had the speed to run with Jet. Those are some things that I kind of look for. You know, I mean, he's definitely putting Jet to the test here.
Yeah, look again, almost held up entering these corners. Does he have an alternate line picked out? Yeah, he's going to try the right side here, side by side. Jet lines came together, able to hold him off.
Yeah, and if you wonder, you know, if he can fix the problems, you know, his Achilles heels,
what
can he actually do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he just manual hopped his way over those bumps. He's a really tall guy, and he's using that leverage.
Oh, yeah, I say follow Jet right here is what I do. You know, I'm like, hey, let the race come to you. Follow him. See what he's doing different. Learn. And then, as we get a little deeper into this race, don't exert all your energy here early. And if you're there within 10 minutes, 15 minutes to go, then attack.
How will Levi Kitchen play it? In this exchange back there, Jet able to stretch it back out. No movement behind them. Hunter Lawrence still in 8th. It's the same exact thing that happened to Hunter in Moto 1. Able to make moves on lap 1 while they were all close together. But then he starts getting stuck. That's just what happens when you get buried off the line. It's strange the way Jet Lawrence has played it today.
Yeah.
Same thing when Shimoda was making a run at him in Moto 1. And then all of a sudden the gap's big again.
Yeah, it's like he only attacks when he has to, right?
Yeah, like, oh, he's there? Okay, I got to go. Fly Racing Battle Box, that is Hunter Lawrence there, still trying to get around Romano for 7th.
Maybe Levi got tired of getting sprayed with so much sand.
That's true.
He was getting absolutely covered.
That's true. Might just want to be out of the roost zone for a little while.
Yeah, like check up. You know, we got a lot of, like I said, there's so many more laps and so much time left. Like, back off just a little bit. And if you can stay with them, just wait.
Yeah, last week Eli Tomac ran that strategy, Moto 2 and Redbud behind Ken Roxon. He said, I just stayed just out of the roost until I felt comfortable enough to make an attack. So we'll see if that's part of the strategy here for Kitchen, or if Jet Lawrence just ramped it back up. Last time around, Jet put in his best lap, a 2:18.3. The Kitchen's best was a 2:18.2, but that was a lap ago. This time around, he ran a 2:19, and that's why the gap is over a second now. Still got to be encouraged by what they see. That's just raw speed.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You take little bits and pieces. You know he's got the speed, and he needs, you know, improve. Like I said, improve in his weak spots. Speed is sometimes the hardest thing to find.
Yeah, he has it right now. They have marched away from Cooper and the rest of the field. Robertson is 4th. Shimoda 5th. Got around LeBlanc. Back to 6th. Then Romano, Lawrence, Swole, Hampshire is 10th. Look at this gap they have over 3rd place Cooper. Is that Robertson or Shimoda putting an attack on Robertson? Yeah. And a little mistake on the entry to that corner.
Yeah.
Well, they're all having trouble through there.
Yeah, that entry of that corner, it's not a very good entry. It's extremely sharp. The apex is sharp. And there's a braking bump going into it. So you're trying to turn and your bike is compressing and unloading at the same time. Cooper looking over his shoulder. I can tell you one thing. You need to race in front of you. Don't race behind you, especially this early on. Don't worry about who it is.
Cooper looking for 2nd overall today, which would be a big boost for him. In the 8th and the 9th in the 2 motos last week at Redbud. Look at Styles Robertson, the improvement, 6'11", and then last week on the podium at Redbud, he'd be 5th overall right now. But he wants more. He's got Cooper in his sights, and he's bringing Joe Shimoda with him. Robertson in the last year of his deal with Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. A lot of rumors about where he might end up for 2023. This is only his second full year as a pro. Sit back down to Will with more on Cooper.
Justin Cooper probably going to want to hang on to this third position right now. Like you said, Jason, that puts him second in the overall there. He has friends and family here in town. Although he's from upstate, this is actually this national race here. So he has come a lot to this race when he was a kid. He did well here last year, and in fact the time before when we rode here too in 2019. So his dad is here, his brother is here. The team said he has a lot of friends here. So a little extra motivation there, guys, for Justin Cooper to try and get back on the podium here this weekend.
Yeah, originally from Long Island, even though we do have a track in the state of New York at Unadilla, this is a little bit closer geographically to where Cooper grew up. Look at this. Kitchen's making another run at Jed Lawrence for the lead. Maybe taking your advice here.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, definitely. He certainly backed off. And I mean, he was absolutely getting destroyed by Jet's Roost. Like I said, man, this is a great time to learn from someone who is so special, Jet Lawrence, and how he rides and the success he's had in such a short amount of time. This is an incredible opportunity for a guy like Levi Kitchen.
Yeah, it's really odd how these riders develop. Even though Kitchen is a rookie, he's actually almost 3 years older than Jet Lawrence. He was a real late bloomer on the amateur side. Really came to life about 3 years ago in the B class, then won A class championships. And what the AMA hands out the Nikki Hayden Horizon Award for the top amateur last year. So he was really not on the radar to be at this level until about 3 years ago.
Talking to some of the guys at that Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing team, and they were talking about how Levi, you know, he doesn't change his bike suspension much, and is able to kind of adapt to how the bike is working rather than trying to get the bike to work for him.
Oh, they must love him then. Make life a lot easier on the team.
That's like any suspension technician's dream, right?
Exactly.
Here you go, rider. Ride it the way I set it up.
No problem, he says. So we'll keep watching these battles here. Robertson, Shimoda, it's the ETS Trone Cam here. And then Lawrence would be next, but he is 12 seconds off of this. He finally got around Romano, and I believe LeBlanc, who was in the top 10, went down. So a couple of positions made up for Hunter, but he needs track position as far as time. 12 seconds behind these two. He's a rider who came into this race leading the points. Shimoda getting going here on Robertson. He's right to the rear wheel now.
It's certainly no lack of effort for Joe Shimoda. Going back to last week's performance, this week's performance, not making life easy on himself, getting those bad starts and having to come from behind.
Yeah, that has been the one knock on Joe. He has gotten good starts on occasion, but we've seen more bad than good. He even said last week, he said, the second moto, I got a bad start, as usual. And then he got caught up with some other riders. Started about 10th, and that's what led to a huge come-from-behind charge. And this isn't as bad, but he still is having to work for it in this moto. Oh, just got blasted with some more sand. No room to make a pass in this corner. He's got a line in the inside. Going to be the outside by the time they get to the end of this section. Doesn't matter.
Oh, perfect. He set Styles up, and he turned in and went down the right side of that straightaway. There's less bumps there. He's able to carry more speed. Nice pass. Set him up perfectly.
That has to be so challenging there to look around while you're riding and find those lines.
Well, and you have an idea, you know, based on the guy that you're racing that's in front of you. You can see where they're struggling, and you know where you can make passes.
Oh, this is LeBlanc, unfortunately taking a ride back with the Alpine Stars medic. So that's sad to see. He had a pretty good run going earlier. I hope he's all right. When you crash late in the day like this, you're hurting already.
Well, I hate to see any of these younger guys going down, because sometimes all it takes is one or two good finishes to really make it over that hump as a rookie. And that's just a setback for LeBlanc. So let's hope that he's okay.
Hunter Lawrence has taken it from 12 seconds of a deficit to Shimoda and Robertson to 10. So we could be looking at a Robertson versus Hunter Lawrence battle again in this moto. There's the event points as they run. That would be today's overall podium. It would be Jet Lawrence with the win. Cooper would be second overall. A tie Shimoda on points for the day, but the tiebreaker is the better second moto finish. But Shimoda was able to run Cooper down in Moto 1, and he is starting to close right now.
There you go. The gap between second and third. You can see right there.
It's actually third and fourth.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yep. Third
it's two
and fourth.
Yamahas sandwiched there in second and third. So Shimoda, he's getting it back together again, just like Moto 1.
Man, it's incredible how much time they lose to the leaders when you get jammed up early on, and then you have to work that much harder to close that gap, almost 10 seconds.
Yeah, Joe's going to have to dig in the second half of this moto. 15 minutes down, 15 minutes remain. You can save 15% or more on your insurance with a quick phone call to Geico.
Well, I'm down with the 15% savings. How about you?
Yeah, insurance and anything else.
That's right.
Yeah, there's not a single category I would mind
15%
saving 50% on. I'm down.
There you go.
I'll tell you what Shimoda would like to do. Like 15% off this gap that he's given himself. You like that one?
You're exact. Oh, I
Both
do.
Motos today, man.
Or be like 15% better on average starts.
Yes.
That would help too.
Gosh, not a good track to do that on. He's eating a lot of sand today.
If the Geico had insurance on starts.
Yeah, he'd be making the phone call for
there
sure.
You go. He is doing good though, man. This is going to make him stronger and stronger and that much better of a rider. Being able to come from behind, ride well in all conditions. This track is just absolutely brutal right now. So hard to ride in these conditions, Jason.
Oh, he's got Cooper in his sights now.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
When you get on that same straightaway or same path, it's game on. Whoa! He airs it out. Tricky to do because the takeoffs of these jumps, they have braking bumps on them. And so if you don't time them right, or you don't have the right correct body position, you let off the brakes, the bike unloads, and the front wheel, the rear wheel doesn't hit the braking bump that you're anticipating to hit. It throws the pitch of the bike a weird way.
Wow. Surprised you don't see that more often.
Yeah.
And Joe is hustling, wheeling down that hill, hopping the bumps. He has found his groove right now as he tries to put the pressure on Cooper for third. Gap up front is now 4.7 seconds. So there were two attacks from Kitchen on Lawrence, and then Lawrence pulling it back out. So we're going to stay with this battle for the number 3 spot. Oh, this is good stuff right now. Shimoda's got a line on the inside.
Setting him up, but Cooper has the advantage on the inside.
Yeah, Cooper holds him there. And then they lines funnel together. Shimoda tries to drift wide. This would move Shimoda to second overall of the day if he can make this pass.
Now this is where Joe got by Robertson. He tucked back up the inside right here.
He's got the opening. Does he have enough speed to make it happen? Cooper says no. Well, Cooper just sent it around that outside.
Yeah, he got a little bit better drive out of that corner as well, coming down the hill before that uphill rise. And Joe just wasn't close enough. Joe has made up a lot of time on Justin Cooper, so it should be a relatively easy pass eventually here to get by Justin Cooper.
Is there another area that Shimoda has? Maybe that big long straightaway in the back.
It could be that. Certainly could be that back straightaway. I feel like the track opens up right there.
Oh, those rollers down in that valley are so tough.
And that takes a lot of strength to go through that sweeping corner with all those rollers, because you're trying to keep that front end light and turn at the same time, using a lot of your leg muscles, core strength, upper body, all of the above, and extremely difficult physically.
All right, another run by Shimoda down this hill. Not close enough this time.
Not even close.
No, Cooper's actually a little bit further ahead than he was a lap ago. So Cooper responding to the challenge, or maybe a mistake from Joe. Justin Cooper wants to hang in there.
Watch the different lines between Joe Shimoda and Justin Cooper. Cooper kind of rides the insides, outsides, where Joe kind of powers through things a lot more. Justin a little bit more methodical. where Joe just kind of powers, like I said, powers through these braking bumps, accelerating bumps, braking bumps, hanging it out.
Shimoda's right back to the rear wheel. Will he go outside to inside here? He tried, not enough room. Now he's going to try the inside of the entrance. He's got it. Cooper tried to square, couldn't do it. Joe Shimoda has the spot.
I don't think Justin was anticipating that move by the 30 of Joe Shimoda. Oh, Joe gets the front end buried a little bit too deep going up that hill.
Cooper almost got him back, not quite. So Joe Shimoda, that's going to power him into third of the moto and second overall on the day. And a long way to go if he's going to get the Kitchen, though, who's 10 seconds further up on the racetrack.
Lucas Oil Pro Motocross is back at Spring Creek MX Park in Millville. It's the 40th Annual Pro National, sponsored by Frescados. It's a whole week of motocross fun as the gates open Wednesday, July 13th at 5, with practice all day Thursday and amateur racing.
Keeping your Pride and Joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll...
New CRF 250R. Lighter, faster, stronger. Ready to help you find your edge.
Rated E for everyone.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Well, Jet Lawrence has pulled it back out. It's now a 6.5 second lead over Levi Kitchen. A couple of times riders put the attack on him today. Not quite sure if that's just the way he was managing the moto or if he had to sort out his lines. It was strange. I mean, we see that happen gradually, but we saw him lose and gain time in massive chunks. Let's go back to the start here. Motosport.com whole shot replay. Jet's going to get out front.
Look how quick it narrows it up. Jet Lawrence is going to sneak up the inside, get under 32 of Justin Cooper. These guys go around that kink in that corner so fast.
And there it is. He wasn't the leader into the first turn, but he was the leader coming out. And for that, he gets the Motosport.com pole shot. He had Kitchen on the inside and Cooper there on the outside, flanking him. And Kitchen has ridden that good start into a great ride. He is second in the moto, but at one point it looked like he was going to challenge Jet for the lead. But Jet's pulled it out.
Yeah, Jet wouldn't be denied. He fended off the charge from Levi Kitchen. Just really in a league of his own here.
And with the 1-1, looking to retake that points lead. So that was quick. Had the problems last week with the engine. If it ends like this, he'll go to our next race with the red number plate backgrounds back on the bike. The battle for sixth. Did Lawrence get Robertson, or is that Hampshire behind him?
That is.
Oh, that's Hampshire behind him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's dug in. He's taken it down to just 3 seconds behind Robertson. He's closed, and he's bringing Hampshire with him.
Well, and Hampshire's actually
putting
the pressure on. I anticipate a pass coming up here.
So Hampshire looking to make the move. He squeezes by, and there's a downed motorcycle trying to figure out who that is. Oh, that's tough right there. So Hampshire is on a charge. Here's the thing, this track takes so much out of you. So you're Hunter Lawrence, you have a bad start of Moto 1. try to sprint early, you crash, you got to sprint again. Do you think he might have just emptied the tank, as the riders would say?
Yeah, perhaps. And before that pass happened and occurred by Hampshire getting by Lawrence, I was thinking just the difference from last year till now for Hunter Lawrence. Probably I assume it's got to be incredibly frustrating.
Yeah.
Come in here with the points lead to a place that you won at the following year. You think you'd have plenty of confidence, number one, from those two factors alone, and to really just, you know, just to finish how he has and how this day's gone. Pretty tough. Look like he's got more pressure now. Nate
Thrasher. So it is coming undone for Hunter.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the bike problem. Maybe it's just the fatigue of a long day. But he is losing valuable points.
Yeah, maybe he's sore too. That was a tough lick he took. You know, when he got crossed up behind Styles Robertson. So maybe there's an injury, or he's sore. Like to your point, that there's a problem that we're not aware of. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, the report from Will there at the beginning that he was okay except for the chipped tooth, but a lot of times, you know, adrenaline, or you come off the track warm and you feel like you're okay.
Or maybe he doesn't want to tell us what's really wrong.
No, that would never happen, right?
No, they'd be completely honest with us.
Never show weakness.
Nope.
So Thrasher now all over Hunter Lawrence for a 7th place.
Hunter's got to stay strong right here and try to fend off this charge from Nate Thrasher. Minimize the points damage here. Live to fight another day. This will be a weekend that he will want to certainly forget. Back on this championship.
And he does not hide his frustration when the day does not go the way he wants. He is as competitive as it gets. That's Hunter Lawrence for you. So he knows it.
Well, he's sitting down a lot, to your point. He might be smoked from the hard charges that first moto. The rider's sitting down this much late in the race. One could only make you think that he's feeling it.
This is Robertson and Hampshire. What a run. He gets by Lawrence. Whoa! Teammates almost collide. Typical wide open Hampshire there. But he is on a charge and he makes the move.
With authority, never even let off.
That crash seemed inevitable between the two of them. I don't know how they didn't.
I thought for sure one of them was hitting the deck.
Absolutely. So that'll put Hampshire into 5th. I don't know what happened at the beginning of this moto. If he rode like this from the start, he'd probably be right up there in the podium spots. But he is flying right now. This is Hunter right here.
Oh, Thrasher got him.
Yeah, so more positions given up. And you just hear it from riders all the time at Southwick. If they have a rough one in Moto 1, they say Moto 2, they don't have a lot left. That might not be it. It's hard to guess, obviously. We talked to him after the race. He gets sideways on the exit of that corner. Maybe he's having a different problem. I don't think that's a position battle behind him there. This will push Hunter back to 8th. Unbelievable how quickly things can change in this game. And honestly,
he's just chilling.
Yeah.
You can see in his demeanor, his style. Certainly not riding to the level that we know that he can ride to.
Well, I always say this, you know, in the game of baseball, they say momentum's only as good as the next day's starting pitcher. Well, in motocross, it's only as good as the next day's start. He came in with the points lead, a track that he's very good on. He did not get the jump the very first moment of the first moto, and it completely unraveled the rest of his race day. So momentum and confidence help, but you get one bad start and things change in a hurry. And at this point, it's just survival mode for Hunter. Watching these other battles out here. Hampshire, again, made the move for 5th. Robertson 6th. Shimoda tried to make a run at Kitchen for 2nd, but Kitchen's holding strong.
Yeah, he is. Kitchen's kept it about 10 seconds gap the whole time.
Go back to the leader. Jet Lawrence will way to answer back. A 1-1. If he can hold on here, minute and a half separating us from the 2 laps to go board.
Yeah, next time by, I believe they'll only have 2 laps. He's not going to make it back to that start-finish line within a minute. They are too far. He is too far away from that So he had about 2.5 laps left here. 7-point gap, or 7-second gap. He's going to cruise it on in.
Oh, so they're going to have to do the 1 extra lap, just like they did in Moto 1. No mercy.
No, they won't. They won't
you think it's going to expire, you're saying?
Yeah,
okay,
the
other way
time
around.
will expire.
Yeah, he's pretty early in the lap. Okay,
yeah.
So this time they'll get the mercy.
Yeah, he'll make up the time that they missed it on the first Moto.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think anybody's asking for extra laps.
You don't think?
On this
they don't want to?
No.
This deep into the Moto?
Yeah, and I'm not saying these guys aren't strong. I'm just saying no matter what, this track is going to take it out of you. Although Jet has certainly been able to manage the energy. He said that one of the keys to the Moto, he was able to do it all day long. Charge at times, but didn't have to go all out the entire time. We're going to show you the gap back here to Levi Kitchen, who's still putting on a great run in second.
He is going up the hill.
Yeah, that's a lap
right
rider.
there. Yep, that's a lapper. He's right behind this lapper. There you go.
There he is.
He's got the hand guards on.
That makes it a little easier for
us
to
Great job by Levi Kitchen for sure.
Oh, yeah. And learning these tracks, you can explain to these fans, they don't get a lot of time to learn it.
No.
2 short sessions, that's all you get in the morning.
Yeah, as a rookie, he's done a great job here today.
Shimoda third, waiting for his Kawasaki. He's going to jump out of that pit right there. So Shimoda looking at second overall. Solid follow-up to the win last week.
It's been a great 3 weeks, really, for Joe Shimoda. Podium, I mean, I'm sure he's going to close it out, but...
Looks like Thrasher has caught Robertson. Thrasher kind of needs this, too.
He does. And you go back to Thunder Valley. He hurt himself, separated his shoulder, then races the next week. Did really well at Mount Morris. Injured, man. These guys are so tough. Tough athletes.
Yeah, Thrasher is putting on a charge here on Robertson, showing some fitness here late in the game.
Oh, it's coming down to the wire here. They're going to have 2 more laps. That's plenty of time. If you're Nate Thrasher, you've made up that much time on Styles Robertson. It'll be interesting to see where he's able to make a move.
There's the 2 laps to go sign. So we are into the nitty-gritty, the dog days of Southwick.
Right.
Thrasher running the outside. Woo! Has to funnel back to the inside. It's the only good line there. And by that, he gets a face full of roost. Tries a different line again. Going to make the power run around the outside. Not enough in it. Still going. Wow.
Makes it. He initiated that pass before the mechanics area. He went way out wide, basically rim rode it, high, wide, and handsome around the outside, kept the momentum up over that small little riser tabletop. Boom, makes the pass. Great job, Nate Thrasher.
Yeah, that's going to feel good for him. He has had a tough time kind of getting the momentum in motocross. Got a couple of wins in Monster Energy Supercross, but just needs to get this thing going. I know it's only for 6th place, but it's going to feel good to make that pass. There's a little momentum here for this Star Racing team with Kitchen showing some signs. And Jet Lawrence with a lap and a half left, separating him from a 1-1 and the red plate. We go back to Shimoda here. He put in the charge, but Kitchen answered, wouldn't let him get close.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get close enough. He's going to really have to turn it on, and Levi's going to have to make a pretty substantial mistake.
And there's the gap on your left side under that tree right now. That is Kitchen, 2nd place rider. And they're closing on the white flag.
What a shot. I love it. Last lap.
There it is.
That's a beautiful sight to see when you're at Southwick. I can promise you.
Okay, so you don't think they want an extra lap either?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right. That's why we have our expert analyst in here. As for Jet, 3 Moto wins in a row. It's almost like back was against the wall with that engine problem, losing the points lead, and he had to respond. He stepped it up.
Well, this is a huge points day. You think about comes in here 7 points in the rears, and he made up 6. He was only 1 point out. No, he was 3 points out, right, for the coming into this last moto. And then
he's got it all back and changed this time. So he's looking at the red plate again. Just everything did not go right for Hunter Lawrence. Everything went right for Jet. 2 hole shots. Had some challengers. Justin Cooper even had a crash when Cooper got around him in the first moto. But for the most part, he was in control today. And here's the proof. Look how clean that motorcycle is.
Yeah.
Didn't have to take on anyone's roost. He led it from the front. And,
perfect.
Oh, yeah. And I've been arguing about it all year. A lot of people are like, man, I'm just tired of these Lawrence brothers. Everybody talks about the Lawrence brothers. I don't know what else we're supposed to do.
You better get used to it. They better get used to it, because they're going to be talking about him, these guys, for a long time, and they deserve that. They are incredible riders. I think they're great for the sport. And enjoy what you're seeing, embrace what you're seeing, rather than not appreciating it. You got to appreciate that craft.
Yeah, if not for the bike problem, and he was leading that moto when the bike expired, I mean, we could be looking at 6 overall wins in the first 6 rounds. He's going to go 5 for 6 instead. And some talk that if Jet was able to win this title this year, we might see him on a 450 outdoors next year. But I'm sure they want to keep the focus right now in the moment. Yeah. And they'll worry about that in the future. But Jet Lawrence looking to reclaim the points lead and doing it in the best way possible. Jet Lawrence won 1 at Southwick. And Levi Kitson's going to feel great about this one. And he can say it. If I get a start, I can run with anyone. He finishes this moto in 2nd. Shimoda put in a hard charge all the way to the end, but not enough to get to Kitchen. He will end up 2nd overall, though, with the 2-3 scores. And Jet begins the debrief with the team. There's Cameron, his mechanic. Christian, his mechanic. And he's been with him since the amateur days when Jet came over to the United States with the old Geico Honda team and moved over to the factory effort with him. And we're waiting on the rest of the riders to come across. There's Cooper and Hampshire with that hard charge. Will end up in the top 5. Hunter Lawrence looking to hang on for 8th when this one is over. Well, stand by. We're going to take a break here and sort it out on the podium. Jet Lawrence now sitting on 3 straight moto wins. And it looks like he's got the points lead as well.
Meet Renee, bank manager and mom of the year. But when she gets on her bike, she becomes Rebel Renee. Rebel Renee is the most outspoken member of her book club. And she didn't even read the book. It's rumored she once used her phone at trivia night.
Cleveland.
And she isn't above greasing some palms to get things done. And Rebel Renee rides with Geico because savings and great service are 2 things she'd never rebel against. Geico, savings and service for both your sides. Meet Renee, bank manager and mom of the year. But when she gets on her bike, she becomes Rebel Renee. Rebel Renee is the most outspoken member of her book club. And she didn't even read the book. It's rumored she once used her phone at trivia night.
Cleveland.
And she isn't above greasing some palms to get things done. And Rebel Renee rides with Geico because savings and great service are 2 things she'd never rebel against. Geico, savings and service for both your sides.
most awesome feelings when you do get it.
50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
Welcome back, everybody, to Southwick in Massachusetts for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, and our overall winner today going 1-1. Congratulations, Jet Lawrence, on that win. You were 7 points down coming in here today. You lost the plate there to your brother. Now you come back, you've got 15 points back over him, and you get to take that red plate home again. I know it's your brother, so it's a little bit bittersweet there, but you're going to be pretty happy with leaving here today.
Yeah, I got to be pumped. I mean, Hunter had a pretty rough one today. Looks a bit like Floyd now from Dumb and Dumber with his tooth, but hey, at least he joins me with the chipped teeth now. But no, it's I mean, I didn't really want to take it away like that. I rather would have raced against him because I find that a lot more fun. But track's brutal. You got a little bit banged up, so to be a little bit sore on this track, it's painful. So no, a really good day. Starts have been good. That one, I timed it somehow so good and just got a little bit too happy and started going to the right. Was in the soft stuff, but did a little cut under in the first turn, and we didn't have to pull a tear off really on the first lap. So it was good. But no, congrats. No, sorry. Thanks to the team today. They were awesome. So no, super pumped for them, and glad to have the red plate back.
Congratulations, Jet, on a very challenging track. You made it look pretty easy.
He did. Didn't have to pull a tear off on the first lap. Had a brief challenge from Levi Kitchen. We'll show you to you here in the Lucas Oil race recap. Yeah, it looked like the Yamahas were going to get the start, Cooper and Kitchen, but watch Jet go from third to first right here. And from there, it's off to the races. Kitchen's on the inside. He's third. He'll get around Cooper and then go after Lawrence.
Yeah, he was going for it early on in here in this race, all up over him. He backed off a little bit, then pulled back up in there, and then...
Yeah, it was two big attacks. Neither one was enough to get the lead, though. And Joe Shimoda, as he did in Moto 1, comes on late. Just able to get to the inside of Justin Cooper. That will put him into third in the Moto, and that's actually second overall. Here is Jet Lawrence cruising across the line with the 1-1. He has won 5 of the 6 overalls this year. Kitchen is second. He'll end up 4th overall on the day. Cooper 4th in the Moto behind Shimoda. Hampshire top 5. Send it back to the podium with Will.
Thank you so much, guys. And the crowd chanting your name out there, Joe, after last weekend in Redbud taking that win, and now you back it up here with a second. You were talking to me about some cramp in your arm there. I'm presuming that's when we saw that gap open back up for you there in the Moto.
For sure. I mean, track is really difficult right now. I honestly never practiced a situation like this. So, yeah, for sure, I'm grabbing my bike so much that, you know, your muscle can't take it sometimes. So, yeah, just have to keep improving, and just want to say thank you to the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, my trainer Nick, my family, Dalen's family. They're being nice to me out here, and yeah, it was great.
Thanks so much, Joe. Congratulations. Another really good fight forward.
Absolutely, Will. 3 podiums in a row overall for him. We'll give you the overall results for the day. He is second with the 2-3 scores. Kitchen at 8th in the first Moto. It's pretty far back. Rallied to that, but it keeps him off the overall podium. It's Justin Cooper on the box today. That's the normal spot for Justin Cooper inside the top 3. We'll send it back to Will.
Yeah, you called it the normal spot there for Justin Cooper. That's what Jason Wygant just said. You're back up here. That's got to feel good. Justin, obviously you were on the podium there for the first Moto. You backed it up here. We know you've got friends and family here. So how does this bode now as we move forward into the second half of the championship?
Yeah, of course, it's cool to be back on the podium. We're like 3 hours from here, so it's probably the closest one, and the most Northeast fans for me. So I always love coming here. It always beats my butt, and we always come back for more. So it was a good step in the right direction, but we still have a long ways to go. We're just trying to bridge that gap that we've let build up. So speed's getting better. We just got to keep that intensity up the whole moto. It's hard to do here, but yeah, just got a little bit out of rhythm in both motos, so just got to clean that up and yeah, just keep fighting with these guys. It was fun. Got to give it up to the whole team. Star Racing Yamaha. They've been behind me this whole time. Thor, Alpine Star, 100%. my fiance, my whole family for coming out, Toyota of Escondido, everyone I forgot, thank you.
Thanks so much, Justin. Congratulations. A big step, guys, in the right direction for Justin Cooper.
Absolutely. Cooper still fourth at points, but remember a year ago he was battling Jet Lawrence tooth and nail. Look at that, Jet Lawrence already back to a 15-point lead.
I mean, like it never happened last weekend in Redbud, but man, that was a tough weekend for Hunter Lawrence. Joe Shimoda made up some points on Hunter Lawrence as well, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Good to see Justin Cooper back up on the podium as well. Levi Kitchen, great ride for him, second moto.
Yeah, quietly fifth in points for Levi. Not bad for his first full go at it. Great race day today. This track didn't let us down. We knew it would be brutal. It sure was.
It was.
And big momentum swings, certainly in the 250 class you just saw. And Eli Tomac almost got the points lead back from Chase Sexton, but Sexton has a 1-point gap going into next Saturday's race. Check us out from Spring Creek at Millville, Minnesota. Well, it's been really fun working with you the last couple weekends, Ricky Carmichael. And same thing with Will Christian doing the hard and heavy lifting down there at the podium, out in the elements. Thanks for watching 4 hours of motocross coverage today. For everyone here, I'm Jason Wygant saying see you next weekend in Minnesota. Congrats to our race winners, Eli Tomac, Jet Lawrence.